It means we're left with the worst type of jokes, puns and sarcasm. Fuck. Why'd you do this to us, Poison?
No, not the M'Baku.
I was expecting to actually be able to properly laugh today. And not fake it.
Only cute. You only have cute, ungendered gems to look at today.
Yeah.
I mean, but they are still gendered, though.
They're not.
Then why is the master a male?
He's not.
Then why is he?
He's not.
Why does everyone refer to him as he and everyone else as she's on variants, and then sometimes also as he's on the females? But to him, specifically, he's.
He technically doesn't have a gender.
Why are they always referring to each other with a gender, though?
Because that's their pronouns.
So then they have genders in their own perspectives, and their perspectives what matter.
No, I didn't say gender, it's a pronoun. They're different things, Reddit.
They're using it as a generalization of for a gender. So they're using he and she's. Or else they would just all call each other he or she. They wouldn't have a variation.
Or
there wouldn't be consistency.
Or you have what this one guy did and called like Foss, they.
You're comparing a human to a bunch of gems. There's your first issue.
Some humans are being called they today's too.
Okay, so there you go. You're comparing humans to gems. There's your first problem, man.
Eric's McVeigh.
They're all beautifully cracking gems that whenever they crack, they lose part of their members.
Okay. Well, apparently we're starting, so it was mine, so I'll get us started.
Sure.
So, Land of Lustrous is a adapted manga with 68 chapters to this date.
Yes, very similar to One Punch Man, where it's kind of drawn in a very shittily visual way.
You checked it out too, I see.
Yeah,
I checked out one panel. It was like
I read a couple chapters, and I just again it reminded me of One's work from One Punch Man. Just very story driven, not very good to look at. Definitely needs a visual cleanup like the anime.
Comparison of a beta.
More like a game comparison to an alpha. More like the alpha. Beta's the release now, dude. Let's be honest now. Okay, we got Sea of Thieves, and that's like a pre-alpha.
Yeah.
Okay, as a $60 release, so you know, man, we can't call things beta.
So, yeah, no, and at 68 chapters, I didn't read anymore because I was like, the animation is just too beautiful for me to read the manga.
Yeah, no, the animation in the show was really well done. I will give them that. Even the short fight scenes were really well animated. It wasn't a lot of errors with the animation.
They were actually able to use this type of animation unlike anyone else.
It's CGI.
Yeah, but most people when they do it, they fail and they just use it as a cheap and easy way. This way, it adapts better because you can have the characters break, and doing that drawn or doing that in other means would be incredibly complex. But you could do that here with a more simplified way and still make it look really good in motion. So.
And also, they don't look like clay. That's what I applauded them for, because that is my biggest.
They look like gemstones.
Yeah, but they don't look like clay. They don't look like Berserk. You know, like the Berserk when Berserk got its reboot, it was using clay animation, and it just looked so bad I couldn't watch more than one season.
And they like throwing women into walls, and then their skin tone changes color.
Yes, because it's clay animation.
Also, to give everyone a reference that me and Reddit know, this is what a panel of the manga looks like. Give it a second.
I mean, I saw one or two things, but it looks really bad.
Yeah. Oh, you shouldn't have done that. You should have shown one more of the fight scenes, but I guess that's fine.
No, I was loading a different one up for the fight scenes.
Yeah, because it's like it doesn't look too bad in the normal format, but once they
this same
visual
scene
intense, like the visual intense scenes, like this looks fine as a manga panel right here. But this is not bad. I wouldn't mind reading if the whole thing looked like this, but when they start. They get a little crazy.
For instance, Diamond versus the dog.
Exactly. Like that would look horrible Oh, would that look so bad? I mean,
this is what basically what they do in the manga. I've read 12 chapters. Basically, fight scenes are you can't really feel the fight because they do like these where they're really set pieces, and you kind of like infer what happens in between everything.
Yeah. Well, that's usually what happens in manga in general when it comes to like.
Yeah, but like, let's say My Hero Academia.
I get what you're saying. It's more extreme in this one, where other ones don't have flash frames in between the main scenes. You know, so you can kind of get a mental image leading up. Where this, they kind of just give you the start and the finish, and you have to fill in the blank.
So we can basically cut this off at the nip, saying like the anime is superior to the manga by most
visually,
just because visually
nowhere near comparable.
Immensely.
Yeah,
nowhere near.
And that's
comparable.
what it's a major defining factor is. But in terms of just base story, the world basically 6 comets hit, shattering humanity into 3 different
Everybody
parts.
watched it.
No one. I'm talking about like to people who didn't watch it and too lazy to watch it because
maybe someone's here and actually hasn't watched the show. Maybe they accidentally clicked on this while looking at a previous video. You never know. Accidents happen, and they said, "Why not?"
Yeah, and they said they're watching 3 guys talk on Discord, and seeing images.
And then they're like, "What is this land of the Lustrous?"
Which
Could possibly be a hentai.
Heseki no Kuo.
Terrible
God,
Japanese name.
even the name sounds dirty.
Yeah. So, and it's basically split humanity into 3 different parts. How they go in the show is called the flesh, the bone, and the soul. And the bones are basically the gems.
Assumedly.
Assumedly? Don't you mean assumedly?
It's assumed.
Yeah.
It's assumed that it is. Mainly because it's similar. Lunarians are the soul.
Yeah. Which
the flesh are big old jiggly titties.
Wait, don't exist.
The men have tentacles.
That does not exist in this world, sir. We don't talk about those things.
And then when she was questioned about the big old jiggly titties, she was like, "What are you talking about? These are my favorite part. Praise them."
I mean,
praise be to them. I'm sorry.
Well, they are the flesh, so
yeah.
But I guess we can start talking about the characters. And my God, are there a lot of characters?
I don't know. I'd actually argue there's very few characters.
Yeah,
there's 28.
I would argue Foss is a character. I would argue the Sensei is a character. I would even argue Bort is a character. And Cinnabar.
Well, Bort's like the mentor. Cinnabar's the emo.
I would.
You know, I mean,
I struggle to call the others characters. They're mostly
types. Most of them are bland.
Yeah, they're most types.
They're mostly just background characters.
You have the doctor type.
Very personality. You know, they're very generic characters.
Well, they have some complexities. For instance, the doctor character.
I mean, Doctor likes to cut people
give her a reason why she's a good doctor.
Not really.
Because she's literally been working for the last 3,000 years
until
on
episode 11.
When the show ends.
10.5 episodes.
Because they want to keep the series going and they want to give you tidbits of the characters. They can't.
I understand what you're saying, but I'm just saying, like, from right now, from the initial perspective, yeah, the doctor does have a little bit of backstory of why she's a good doctor.
They do have some character, but like when you're talking about characters, Yamcha's a character, Krillin's a character.
Yeah, and they also had more than 12 episodes to tell these character stories.
Exactly, so they're not characters yet until they have time to develop into themselves. Yamcha wasn't a character when he showed up as a bandit. He was just a type until he had eventually developed a character.
Yeah. It takes time, and most of the characters don't have time. The only character that really had time was Bort, the Sensei.
Bort, Sensei.
Oh, the Ice Girl.
Yellow. Jill.
Okay. Yellow didn't really have much.
It's
Yellow had a scene. Okay.
Yellow didn't have much.
Yeah.
She had on the character. She had the of the minor.
The most interesting part was when Foss was running fast with her.
Yeah. Of the minor characters, she has the most screen time.
Still classified as a minor though.
Yeah, and everything has minor characters. There can't be 28 major characters.
Yeah, until the show was like, get out of here, you fucking fly, Jesus.
Like a lot of people in Naruto had major story arcs and actual arcs based around them.
It also had 800 episodes.
Yeah, again,
and
this is what we're saying. Given time, yes, you
may
have a strong argument, but currently no. There's no.
No, right now they're just characters until you learn more about them.
Have not developed enough to be able to do that. Right now, they all seem like very bland, generic background characters.
And honestly, I think that the most unique one is fucking. I would have to say that's not just a generic type. Is Amethyst, 33 and 84, because they actually have some unique stuff to them. They do kind of go off of the twin type, but they are able to do something.
I think it was 34 and 88.
So that's the one that doesn't just immediately fall into a type. Although twins are somewhat rare, so I think that's just not accustomed to that yet fully.
So, well, let's go through them all. Now, like the base, not all of them, but like all the ones. I was about to say,
you want to go all the way? Would you be like, nothing to say, nothing to say, nothing?
Yeah, like the haired chick we don't know anything about yet. The silver and blue haired chick we don't know anything about yet. The red haired chick, I'm going off the image by the way. She likes clothes.
You have to be more particular. The red haired chick on the left, not the one in the middle or the one in the right.
No, the one in the middle.
The one in the middle is the doctor, because you only see the red hair and the one in the middle.
That's when you see two like red hairs here.
The one on the left looks more pink to me.
Yeah, the one in the middle looks red. Looks
really the pink. You're not gonna call the middle one the pink one.
No, I mean the one the one underneath the master looks like a pink one, yes. But like if we're talking about middle, like
that's more of a crimson. Actually, I would give crimson to Cinnabar.
Yes.
She likes clothes. We don't really know anything about the black-haired chick.
Green-haired chick, I forgot. Purple-haired chick at the top, I forgot.
The leader. She's the leader.
Jade, she's not a leader. She doesn't do much. She's basically
she just reports to the master. That's all she.
Yeah, no, she reports to the master.
Like secretary. She's like a secretary for the most part.
Yeah, and if the master ever sleeps, she sends out and controls all the rest of the gems.
No, master prelays his orders, and she's just still following his orders like a secretary.
No, like when he went to sleep, when winter, because he was up all winter, and she was basically saying, "Hey, could you go do this for me?" And gave everyone
those were their jobs anyways.
Yeah.
And because Foss, and that was in reference to Foss, and the only reason she even questioned that because they were low, and Foss was the one who stayed through the winter, so she was obviously capable at that point.
They were kind of like, something's changed when I look at those arms. They don't look like they used to.
So,
why are they
next is okay. Now we're talking about the characters we actually know some stuff about, and the twins are cool. They have good character. For what like little scenes they get, I say. How do you guys feel?
Well, I can't really say they got character. I say they got personality.
Yeah.
They actually, for characters, they make a mental impact to where you don't immediately forget about them.
I remember them more than most of them, which is not at all when looking at this picture. Like 80% of this cast is nothing.
Where do you get most of their screen time? When the dogs are running around, everyone was chasing our dog. That's almost all the most of their screen time.
In fact, they say that there's 28 gems. But I struggle to find 28 of them.
I never counted.
Sensei's a gem.
We know, yes, technically, yes.
Well, see, so he's one. There's Alex, Bort, Cinnabar, Foss, and
There's
Arkin.
19 or 20 on this picture.
Yeah, we also got the one that's asleep. Remember that the doctor keeps trying to bring back to life?
Fast forward, something. It's a very long name.
Okay, I'm going to go into the pink one. So I have a question. So the pink one has barely lost any of her body, right?
Yes.
How come did I miss this? How come she keeps passing out? Is there a reason? Because Foss has lost way more of her body than the pink one has lost of hers.
What happened was when she came into being from the cliff, she was born with those holes in her body. So when you come in, you saw that one that almost came into being, but failed. She is like made it to the finish line, but passed out on the way in, and so she didn't get.
Basically, was born with birth defects. Basically, it's the simplest way of putting it.
Why did the doctor care so much to help her though? Then
because she was a good friend of hers and she wanted to save her.
It's also
they
because
haven't gone
like
into that yet. They haven't gone into that backstory.
Yeah, and I haven't read that far yet.
Yeah,
I am gonna read far and just because I can rewatch the anime and just be like, oh wait, this is much prettier. I can just look at the pretty visuals.
But yeah, so they haven't really got into like their connection. We just know they have a history together, and the doctor treating her, trying to wake her up, is why the doctor became the doctor.
Yeah.
Beyond that, we have no information, and she also has a strong connection with the Yellow Diamond.
Because they're technically the two oldest. Yeah, no, they're the two oldest.
Yeah, I know that, but it seemed like there was more history though when she was like starting a monologue with her when she was unconscious, but they didn't go into it; they stopped it.
Yeah. So then we have next major character. Alex would probably be one of them.
The ice crystal. Or...
No.
Oh,
no,
you mean Lex? She's called like Lex or something.
Yeah, Lex. Yeah. Alexandria. So yeah.
Yeah. I thought her like they gave like the first time you see her, she's just like, when did you what did you learn? What did you learn? Huh?
Yeah, at first like she was annoying. Yeah, she was a little annoying at first, and then they kind of like just kind of threw a lot of her at you at the end, kind of out of nowhere. Kind of like really was kind of unexpected, but
well,
I don't hate
like
her.
Explained.
I'm not a big fan of her, but I don't hate her.
Yeah, well, it's kind of it. I feel like it's an interesting thing where the reason she studies Lunarans so heavily is not because she wants to learn more about them, is literally just to keep her mind on the hatred. Like she just wants to, when the time comes, be able to murder them all without a second thought.
Weird though that she does that and she never hunts.
Well, Sensei's forbidden her.
I understand because she goes
from even looking at her.
If your hatred is real, you say fuck that bald-headed mofo. I am going to kill some shit.
A lot of what happens in this anyway is the orders are more suggestions. It feels like to me. Like, most of them are just suggestions to do certain things more than anything.
Like, well, even like late in the anime when Boston starts, questioning everything, like in episode 11.
She just goes off on her own and no one really can stop her.
Nobody questions it, and she just kind of like doesn't go on patrol. She'll just sit out by the ocean for a whole day, and then they'll go see if she's okay, but that's really about it.
Well, and even though she's technically one of the strongest. And they're all aware of this.
Well, she is, but I'm just saying, though, like, she's not going on patrols and stuff like that
I'm just saying there's no real chain of command there.
There's an
assumed chain, but most of it's just suggestions.
It's
like we need
like what Cinnabar,
like
what Cinnabar says, like most of them just have blind faith in him, and that's kind of like why everything works together, just because of their blind faith in him, but there's not really an actual structure there, and nobody gets mad if you just tell them to go fuck off.
And then, well, while we're talking about it, Cinnabar, the main love interest, I would say. Love interests for the main character, I feel like Cinnabar is up there.
I think that's BFF. I think Dia would be the love interest of anyone, but there's not really any.
I don't see much with Cinnabar in this season because they don't resolve anything and it stays at the same point it starts at.
Yeah.
Well,
it doesn't change
pretty
from
much.
Point A to B.
It was just a build up to what it's going to become, and they showed you where it's going.
Yeah,
but
the only thing you get though is episode 12. From the moment it starts, until the series is over.
1 to 12, it's just literally just kind of like she's there, and you're supposed to feel bad for her, and that's why the whole thing where in 12 when she asked her that, she started blushing because she couldn't believe it. It was just like. Yeah,
and my thing with that is, by the way, side note, I really like what they did with her element. So do you know why she's poisonous?
Don't really care.
No.
Because her element or her gem is Cinnabar, which is, I forget what base gem, mixed with mercury. So she is constantly has mercury poisoning running through her veins.
Yeah, see, I didn't look up any of the gems. In all honesty,
I was Cinnabar's probably the only one I looked up. That and phosphorite. See where they got some of the inspirations from.
I actually knew most of them off the back of my head, and I was disappointed I didn't see Emerald. Jade. Didn't see Emerald.
Yeah, didn't see Jade.
I was like, oh, that must be Emerald. Nope, Jade. Well, I would question to say that's Jade, but sure. Bit too shiny, but sure, let's say that's Jade.
And
It's what they say, Shadow. How dare you question the writer of this? You know how much research they put in. They know a lot more than you.
Yeah, like Cinnabar at the end, even though she's a gem, she's still blushing.
Yeah, but then you can say, like,
that's the
why do
mercury
gems,
heating up.
Even though they're gems, why do they have flesh? Why do they need to have the flesh tone? Why do they need to have the flesh tone to make them feel good about themselves?
Exactly. Like, why does when she's doing her inspection, she cover up the silver and blue haired chick? She's just rock. That comes with more of just like the personality shit. They can show emotions.
Yeah, and they also wanted to make it. They didn't want to go too far off of the visual. They still wanted to make them seem human-ish. That's the thing when it came to the visual.
Well, why are these dogs using illusions?
Yellow people walking around, which is weird.
In this one, you're supposed to believe the world. In that one, they're just like, oh yeah, they're illusions. They're just a mask of what were really just dogs the whole entire time. They kind of go into it, which is the dumb part. It's just leave it up to
they go into it about the same here.
Yeah, they're spawned off of microorganisms, and basically their whole entire existence is unknown, which is one of the core themes of the anime, is finding your place in society.
I wouldn't say that's... I would say that's like the first couple episodes, but I really don't think that's the later part.
No, it's a constant thing throughout the whole entire anime.
I strongly disagree past the later area. Like halfway, maybe.
I think the later end becomes more about the
questioning regret, society more than
questioning concept of society, and just kind of the regret.
Well, no, the theme's always there. It may not be the forefront, but it's always there.
I don't. I think it goes away after she gets her.
I think they completely
it's even bigger,
different directions.
Because it's not shown through her; it's shown through her foil, which is Diamond or Dia. Dia. We'll go into that when we go into the episode structure. Next is Antarctic. What do you guys thought of him?
She's probably one of the better characters because she has the better episode when the series started turning.
Yeah.
Actually be good, rather than just look at these tight body girls and that sparkle.
Everyone classifies him as a guy, by the way. I know they don't have a gender, but everyone kind of chose their gender for them. And everyone kind of like refers to Antarctic as a guy.
I don't care what idiots think online.
To
me, they're all female because they all have female frame. The only one that's male is the Master because he has a male frame. Even the Lunarians, the pulpits, like the puppets at the bottom, are all female in tone. Except for when she gets the one and it looks human all of a sudden, and it... we'll
go with the Lunarians at the last.
Yeah.
Okay, so... no, Antarctic, Shadow liked him, read it.
Not bad. I mean, one of the better characters because they actually spent time developing that character.
Well, because there's not 28 other characters running around.
Again, don't interrupt me, sir. I was getting to that, but you know what? Fuck you. Continue.
Okay. Yeah, you can see his character more because he has 28...
down my throat like that.
I pulled out the answer, YouTuber.
Well, it's like Jesus, man. You asked me my opinion and you immediately interrupted me. What do you expect from me, man? Like,
I thought you were about to say something. I was about to correct it.
Did me say it and then correct
We're both right. We both thought the same thing. Good job, Brett.
You're not both right. You both have a similar opinion.
Which means we're both right.
No. That means you both have a similar opinion.
We have a prospect on an opinion. I didn't get to actually say my opinion.
Okay.
Hear my opinion because somebody had to be a rude Nancy.
I'm sorry. I'll put my Nancy Pantsy back in.
Someone had to be a nasty Cinnabar and touch me and make me lose my ability to absorb light. You bastard.
Okay. So, next character.
Ronald, would you like to go on with what you were saying before Poison skips it?
No. It's over now. No.
Yeah, I know. I knew you would say that.
Nobody will know now at this point because that annoyed me.
Okay. Well, I pulled that out. I'm Reddit, and I really like the character. I thought it was interesting.
Oh, fuck you.
Good character.
No, you don't get to talk to me. I wasn't even going to. You don't even know if I was going to say anything. You can't even know what I was going to say because you interrupted me.
I inferred.
Okay, fucking dick. Continue on to the next character.
Bort.
Bort's the teacher, the sensei.
I don't really think she's.
No, it's not.
That's what it felt like towards the end, where she was just like, where they started teaming her up with different people, and I kind of became.
She's just telling everybody common sense. That's what it really is. Yeah,
but there is a saying: common sense isn't common. That goes in both worlds. Yeah. Sometimes you need people to tell you common sense because too many people are too stupid to understand it, or they have a different perspective of what is common.
Yeah, and common sense is different by region too. It's common sense in Africa not to go get stung by a wasp.
Common sense in America to eat a wasp because I'm hungry.
What?
And fuck that wasp.
Wait. How many wasps have you eaten? I'm curious.
We don't talk
it as a
numbers.
close approximation of my dog.
Just because I deep fry a wasp is not a personal issue.
Reddit's walking down the street about to deliver a package, sees a wasp at the other end of the road and runs.
No. I deep fry them, but.
Oh, he has a mini. What are those grills called? 4-man grills with him?
I don't know. You can't use that. That's not a grill. That's a. You can't like deep fry them. I said I deep fry them. I was like, I can't deep fry my George Foreman grill.
You just have deep fry sauce just in your pocket all the time, ready to squirt into a little teacup you have?
No. What I do is I carry a net and I put them in a little box in my truck, and then I take them home and I deep. Damn, it's a nice little snack. The texture is really good. They got a nice crunch to them, okay?
So yeah, I preferred Bort in how she fought with her hair. That was like the best thing about that. Yeah, but she
stopped doing that at the end.
And then it made no sense because her hair got cut, and when she went to get the snail, and then they just didn't talk about how Bort got parts of her hair back with the snail. And they tend to leave things loose and not...
That was so weird. And then during the last fight with the dog spirit, I guess, it's like she didn't use her hair the whole time, even like when it had her arm at the beginning. Yeah. She could have easily flung her hair and cut herself loose. But
I mean, even Foss, when she's teaming up with Bort, is like, she moves too fast to the right or something, and her hair kind of swings towards Foss, and she ducks and dodges out of the way. Like, ugh. So...
Yeah,
like they made the hair such a big deal, and then they just forget about it at times.
Yeah, it was like the tail.
The only time I remember her using her hair in combat was like the one time against the snail.
Literally, like the first.
Maybe she was in the fight scene.
First, like every fight until like episode 10, I think, when the dog spirit appeared, she used her hair.
Yeah. Except the fight where she just
mainly because she's apparently a harder material than the swords.
Well, yeah, because the swords are obsidian. Which is, like, there's a reason we don't use obsidian swords.
No. First, you use it for arrowheads.
Yeah, but not in swords because arrowheads aren't clashing with things. It's kind of like when Diamond uses her special technique.
They're really good for hitting flesh. They're really, really good for that.
Well, there's
the only thing that's a bit when they go inside. So it's difficult. Indians used to use them a lot.
Yeah, but, yeah, the swords are obsidian. That's why they shattered when they impacted with the arrows. When Diamond used her special technique of batting.
You mean hitting home runs?
Yeah. But,
you did it enough. Eventually, a sword's going to break in general. They're not meant to be used like that.
Yeah.
I mean, regardless of it, like, unless they're shooting plastic at her, and then why is she scared?
Also, why would the person who knows they're fragile from non-direct hits, but incredibly strong in direct hits, like the unbelievably strongest in direct hits, why would that specific person design their unique fighting style to be indirect hits and indirect strain? That's incredibly stupid.
Yeah, well,
because Bort wouldn't let her fight, so she developed her own way of fighting from a distance.
Well, like, the best thing she would have is to be offensive and hit at a specific moment from a specific angle, and it would be like a hit and run thing, and Bort would just be the aggro. But they never did that. They did.
No.
Well, because Bort
wanted to.
Dia kind of gets sidetracked, and they don't use her. They do better, and they don't say, "Well, Diamond's unbeatable," but it's actually more along the lines of like Diamond isn't smart enough or doesn't get the screen time to be unbeatable.
Well, no, she's not unbeatable because she has a weak.
No, Diamond's incredibly weak. It's a terrible mineral, but offensively, like in drill bits and shit, used properly with not going against the weak crevice or the sheets or cleavage.
Her last fight.
I think it's cleavage.
Yeah, it's cleavage.
When you're not going against Diamond's cleavage, it's incredibly strong. So she would need to be offensive in a specific way, but they don't ever use it. They do it once with the snail. They do it once with the snail, but that's about it. Where she cracks open the snail, or kicks in.
Well, that was more of her shoe, which I don't know what the shoes are made out of. I'm guessing.
No, that was probably the gemstone inside of the shoe. I would assume. I don't think the shoe was the one.
Well, the shoes aren't the gemstones. The shoes are obsidian.
No, the shoes are
actual shoes. The only exception is phosphorus, where she has like a gold heel on her shoe.
And that's from something different.
That is because she is a clusterfuck of minerals at this point.
Yeah.
She's
agenite.
She's agate. She's phosphorus. She's she has platinum and gold. She's only 4.
That's a lot, knowing almost nobody else's too.
Which brings me to question more than whatever.
Okay, well that's kind of that's went over a little bit more in one of the themes. Sensei, how's everyone like Sensei?
I don't like him.
You
don't like him?
I felt it was actually borderline harem, which was kind of annoying me.
Kind of was, like, especially with the way he has them like all sleep under his room. Like, it was kind of weird, but.
Second news, because the light's dimmer. I remember now. I was like, didn't they need to hibernate? Oh yeah, because the light's dimmer.
Because there's only 10 days of light during the winter, they say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 10 days of strong sunlight,
Diamond
was like one of the worst characters that they gave time.
I liked her. She shined in more ways than one. She's the only nice person to Foss.
Yeah, and that's her only benefit. Her as an individual is nothing. Her in relation to Foss is something. But as an individual, I struggle to say anything about her.
She's into romance.
I don't know. She just felt like the generic nice friend character in every anime. Almost, yeah, but not as likable. But not as likable. But she just again, like, they didn't make her like unique from a character perspective. Especially,
I liked her in the dogfight. She goes in, she's like, "I got this." Put my sword up, lock, and then she's instantly like, "Oh, maybe this is a bad idea."
Yeah, no, that was
Yeah, funny. But a lot of the gems are kind of like that.
Like, again, like, I was expecting like them to like go more into like giving each gem a unique personality based off of like maybe people with the same birth year or birth month of that stone or something in regard to that. Like, especially
they couldn't have done that already because there's 28 gems.
But 12 of them are used for months, so those ones should have like there's different ways they can do things though. Like, most of the gems felt
it's just a short run time.
Bland. It definitely hurts it. It definitely does need more run time to be able to get a good enough.
Because if it wants that 28 characters, it needs 24. It needed 24 for its first season.
No, there's no way it would have gotten all 28 out there. Like,
it still wouldn't have gotten them out there, but it would have gotten more of them, way more.
We would have gotten like an extra 3.
But the thing is it doesn't really need these characters. Its base is strong enough. Foss is fine. It's just she needs an immediate cast to fall back on when it's not Foss, and currently they don't really have that.
They had one
in the second season when they have Cinnabar and they have Bort doing more stuff probably, and they have these other characters. It'll be more. It won't just be Foss's story, but as it stands right now, Foss is pretty much the only defined character Period.
And that segues to what we think about Foss.
I think we should talk about Foss when we talk about the
episodes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Foss does go through a lot of drastic character development throughout the show.
Yeah. So, last thing, character-wise, is the Lunarans and King, and we're not talking about King's brother. He was there for like 10, not even 10 minutes.
The Kings are part of my biggest gripes with this series because they do the stupidest thing ever of, so they know she's a gem, they're being grateful, they got replacement parts for him, which wasn't stated, but the other one just grabbed them even though it wasn't stated. They got replacement parts for Foss. Why didn't they just go into the water and pick up her legs? Literally, why? They knew. Why didn't they just pick up the legs and she would have been fine?
I think I would have to read the manga more.
Don't excuse it with the manga. Don't say that.
I don't know that. That's the thing.
That doesn't matter because we're talking about the anime points. We're not talking about the manga.
What we can assume is the Lunarans took the legs.
No, but they're dead. They're all dead.
The Lunarans were killed. They
killed all of them.
With whatever that other
the legs are in the water where she was.
It wasn't like the winter chick where they collected all the pieces. They killed those Lunarans and no more showed up. So you can't assume the Lunaran just suddenly appeared underwater and grabbed her legs underwater and just appeared down there.
Instead of bringing a new material, like, yes, granted, good idea bringing the new material to fill or say like, hey, this was us, but like, the legs were right there. There was no reason not to. They weren't even that shattered. So it's not even like I was too lazy to pick up 1,000 pieces because there were like 5. So just get the legs. Why do you need to... It was so stupid.
They needed it for character development.
Yes, but that's my biggest gripe with it, is that every time Foss has to have a change, it's a cool change, but is brought about in the stupidest fucking way possible. So, it's really hard for me to give the show as much credit as I want to because I'm constantly reminded by all these incredibly stupid things. Case in point, the arms. I thought it was really cool when the iceberg started talking to her.
Yeah, but it felt really
just
forced.
Randomly, the arms are gone.
So we'll get into that when we get to episode 8 when winter starts.
It's 8. No, it's 7 and then 8 is the good one. Is the best one. I think
7, 8, and then 9 is where it goes over when they wake up. Okay. They fit a lot into the as more than I thought they would fit into the episodes. I don't know. It just felt like they went over a lot of stuff in the episodes.
Yeah, it might be a case though where they went over too much.
The beginning was a bit sloggy for me.
It's like,
well, I think it was meant to because it emphasizes like.
I feel like they were going for a different show in the beginning. Like, hey, we need to win over these people with these tight-bodied sparkling girls that are all cute and nice.
In the manga,
and then
they aren't
very
sparkling.
Slowly, yeah, but we're not talking about the manga again, Poison.
We brought the manga in the last 3 times, Shadow.
But this is an anime one. This isn't a manga.
You're also
one.
bringing in the video games for Dot Hack.
Because that's story.
that's
like literally the only way you can get the
next
story.
Next time, are you gonna recommend the manga?
You could.
Shadow is...
No, I'd recommend Liminality because I don't like Liminality broadcast. The broadcasted Liminality is terrible. I don't like it.
So
like
that might be a possibility in the future.
Might be. I don't know.
I mean, there's like 1,000 other better mangas, but you want to.
And if I'm going to read it all, and then if I like it, if I think it's there's some plot points that are stupid, I'm not going to recommend it.
You go to read this, I can give you like 10 ones that are better, but sure, I guess.
There's a lot. There's probably a lot more that are better, but
I would think we would take like a manga break for a month when we're out of anime ideas or some shit that we immediately want to jump on.
That's okay. So episode 1.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, no, the Lunarans.
There's not much to say really. I have nothing to say about them. They're just kind of bland.
Art design.
The only unique thing about the Lunarans,
they look nice. Like everything else in the show looks nice.
I like the Lunarans
drawn bad
because
I think
they remind me of the Bayonetta angels. Is the primary reason I like it. They're not as fleshy and they're not disgusting on the inside, but they're somewhat mechanical, which is kind of neat, but
Well, it goes over kind of in the I forget what episode. But because you thought I was gonna say manga.
You did, yes.
Well, because I've only read 12 chapters, so guess where chapter 12 gets when she gets her new legs. So I don't know shit. But they're trying to reconnect the bones and the flesh. That's why they stole all the slugs.
That's the assumed.
Yeah, that's the assumed by King, which was not a reliable source because she was kind of a lying bitch.
Who was also incredibly lazy and looked down and saw her shining, glimmering legs and were like, nah.
That's a lot of
work. Hey, bro,
get
some of your spines.
Shelf. But
so fucking stupid.
I feel weird. Oh yeah. So that's where that comes from. But the design is of. There's a lot of Buddha representations in this,
which is annoying.
Oh.
Apart from the master, I find it very out of place and annoying.
Someone doesn't like Buddha.
I don't like when animes throw in a very when they try and do a strong undertone of religion.
Like I'm fine with the master.
Either make it religiously themed or you don't. You don't try and throw this whole undermined of it where everything's religious, and they kind of create that sub atmosphere. Make it a main part of the story or don't.
I like that sub.
The master is nice because he's sitting there and he's calm and he's collected and he meditates and he just relaxes. And when he does actually offensive, he's incredibly strong with a Buddhist palm and shit kind of thing. That's fine. That's good. Every single religious thing coming in, like even the Lunarians coming in all angelic and shit, fine with that. The fucking Shiro or whatever. That was when I was like, all right, I'm officially done with this. You better stop.
What?
Shiro, the dog.
The dog spirit.
Oh.
Shiro, Shiro.
Well, no, it's just a theme they wanted to go with, and I like it.
No, it's the theme. I don't like that. I don't like that undertone. I'd like either make it a big part or you don't, or maybe
and they started looking upon the master.
It's such a strong undertone.
Yeah, because they start looking upon the master, and they don't look upon the master as they do the other gems. Like, oh, look at this, look at how beautiful it is. They look upon the master as if they are looking at a religious icon.
Well, yeah,
almost. And it's really fucking just
adamantite, if I remember right. Is his gem? I don't know.
I wouldn't be shocked if he wasn't a gem, and that was all just.
I'm pretty sure he's a Lunar or some shit.
That's what I'm thinking. Like he's some crossbred, but.
Yeah, but we don't know.
That's for later
season XX. But the Lunarians are also a Buddhist symbol, and what their symbol is of the angels that save people from the cycle of rebirth. And this is kind of inferred that cycle is them actually just not dying, or it could be the cycle of rebirth just from them becoming gems because they died, went up the sedimentary, and found themselves to be gem people.
Yeah, they sure did save the flesh guys.
Well, we don't know what they're doing up there.
They made them really fat and then decided to bring them back into a hazardous position where they could lose them. That's what they did. The first time was stupid and made no sense why they brought that snail down there. Why was that snail there? Why did they decide to bring the snail? Why did they just drop the fucking snail when they got there?
Because it was a plan.
The antagonist... When you have a stupid, mindless antagonist, it's pointless to, like...
Well, no, it was a plan to get a gem from King. to lead a gem out. Now, was it very hinted on a dumb gem walking into the sea? Yes. But it was still their plan.
I don't think that was the plan at all. I think she went along with that.
I think the plan was just they were trying to kidnap the master at first, and then they failed. That was the initial plan. That was all to try and take him, and that failed miserably.
That was almost comical how stupid the snail introduction was, where it's like,
that was just, like,
they
so
just
weird.
drop it, and it's like, what? Why did you bring that?
Could have.
And if your goal is to reunite the
gems.
body and create a new human again, which I like the soul doing it. I like because it's greedy. I like because it's combative, but so it's trying to take it by force. But then why would it be so dumb as to bring parts back that you could lose? And why would you have those parts be so dumb and stupid and keep letting them overfeed? I don't know. It's just... What they do is just foolish at times.
Yeah, they're not very well explained about their motives. It's kind of explained slightly by King. Slightly. For like...
Not really.
30 seconds?
The fact that she was the majority of the plot dump was really actually annoying. Because it's like one episode where you get plot dumped on the entire show's worth of history. It's like...
Yeah.
And it's to the point where even the master gets pissed off that he doesn't know some shit. Because he starts talking about humans and he gets snaps. But
yeah, well, that could be from him being something backstory of him, humans, something he doesn't want to, I don't know, theories.
Again, we have no idea. We can just talk out of our ass, but...
Yeah. No idea. But, with the Lunarans, the last thing I want to talk about, is they come in on... Shadow wouldn't know the exact terminology, but that thing where, what do you see?
Oh, Rorschach.
Yeah, I didn't know the terminology.
It's a bit of a Rorschach. I thought it was at first, but then it looked too similar every time. So I didn't really...
I guess it kind of go like they evolve with more complex ones, I think.
I don't know. I didn't. Every time I looked at it, I saw the same thing, and I couldn't find any discerning figures, so I just kind of gave up on that. Because I did think of that at first, but then I...
Well, that's clearly what they were going for, but it doesn't. There's never things that 12 episodes, short series does it injustice. So now let's get into the episodes.
Does anyone remember what happened in one apart from introductions? Because I wrote down, I'm getting the feeling this was an excuse to make Type Body Girl sparkle.
What was
the main introduction, Cinnabar, the first fight.
Introductions.
It was introductions. It was just an introduction to the world. Nothing.
You saw the beautiful liquid and mercury animations.
Of plot was introduced besides just the introduction to the world.
Yeah, you got introductions of how you saw like at the end, like I'll get you a job that is better, and that kind of sets her on her goals. So it was a little bit of plot, but just at the
not her goals for the entirety. She actually completely forgets about that at one point.
Yeah, her goal is literally the whole time is to become a fighter. That was just something she did on the side.
Her main goal is to find something to do, because literally she's been alive for 300 years, and they still don't know what to do with her.
Well, no, she wanted to be a fighter. It's not that she wanted to find what to do. She wanted to be a fighter. She was given something to do in episode 1. Mm-hmm. That was to be the scholar and record everything of the world.
And then when that was taken away from her, she got depressed.
No, she didn't want to do it because that means she couldn't. No. She couldn't follow along.
Be a fighter. She wanted to be. She wanted to be a fighter the whole time. Like literally, like when he says, like I finally decided what to do. She's like, "Great, can I be a fighter?" He's like, "No, you're far too brittle." That's what she wants to be, a fighter the whole time.
By the way, side note, phosphorite is loved in the gem community of how beautiful it breaks, aka why she's brittle.
Okay, that's cool. But no, I'm just saying, like, so that was her goal. Her main goal is to become a fighter. Now, she wants to help Cinnabar because the only way she could see herself being able to help her is giving her purpose besides night patrols.
Yeah. And you can kind of see the character foil between them. Where Cinnabar wants to find something, like wants to do something, but can't because she's cursed with her just gem. And her mercury that literally poisons everything around her, killing it. Yeah, and then the only other notable thing about episode 1 was, like I said, the beautiful mercury fight or Cinnabar fight. I don't know why she got a ton of bodies behind her for one of her attacks, but it was cool. It was neat. You can disagree?
No, it was all right. It looked nice.
Episode 2. What happened in episode 2?
Snail.
Oh, yeah.
Episode 2 was now? I thought that was episode 3.
Boss gets got by the snail.
Okay. Which also brings into something about the animation. It gets creepy at some points.
Nah.
You just see her get dissolved.
Dissolving?
Yeah,
I didn't think that was creepy. I mean,
I thought it was creepy.
I didn't think it was creepy. I thought that was fine.
And that's just something I'd say.
That was
the
literally
girl
what I
getting...
was expecting. The second she got eaten by it, that's exactly what I was expecting to happen. I mean, because it made sense.
I'd say creepy is more Full Metal Alchemist when the human dog transmutation happens.
Oh,
and it's like the first time you see that, you're like, whoa.
Oh.
And then Ed's like later, we can fix this. They can just put this back together, and we'll find a way to fix this.
It depends.
And then the guy comes in and just.
I like in the original. I liked it better in the original because Scar just murders her. He just puts it out of his misery. That was
that's so good because he looks up to it and he's like,
Brotherhood.
You shouldn't exist.
They didn't do that in Brotherhood. That's what annoyed me. But they did that in the original. I thought that was really cool.
Well, they still assumed it happens because Brotherhood assumes a lot of what happens in A.
It does. It skips a lot of it in A because it happens in A. But it was great because it built up a lot of the emotion between him and Scar, which led to the conflict. You know what I mean? Like, so it did a lot of.
Which also leads to like, why don't you like that? Why didn't you let her live? It's like because she was an abomination. You saw it.
She was no longer a human. She was a monster, and there was no way to reverse that, which is 100% true.
And I just didn't want to believe that. That was the whole point. So that was why that was creepy. But her getting dissolved by a snail when she could again be put back together, and there was no real threat.
Well,
the part that annoyed me was that it literally took them a few days to realize that her colored thing under its shell was her when it was literally the same color as she was. 1 + 1 does not equal -3.
And then you have this weird divide that they create in the cast of where Foss is just shit on by literally everyone after her death.
Yeah. Well, when that's why the only nice characters to her are Cinnabar and Diamond. No one else gives a shit about her.
And Cinnabar isn't exactly nice to her. She's just helping. Yeah. She doesn't have time to be nice to her yet.
He'll just fight for her if she gets into trouble.
Yeah. Well, no, she also carries her back.
Well, the nicest character, I would say, is probably Amethyst. Like, just genuinely, like, nice to her. Because they're the ones that are trying to teach her. And are actually not being mean at any point. You don't ever see them being mean, I don't believe. But, like, other people are just like, oh, she's a slug now? Alright, cool. And they look away. And it's just like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Even one says, hey, at least we'll...
But then she's so quick to forgive because she has a kind heart, air quotes, when she's the best person in the academy or the school or...
You mean second she gets golden arms, golden platinum body?
Yeah, and people care about the arms more than they care about her because
no, they care about her because she has the arms. She has the arms.
Yeah,
which is the question. Which is something I'm going to get into later. But
okay,
talking to the slug was a bit of a stretch, I believe. I don't see how being in the blood vessels going through the brain means that you're
able to talk.
You learn all the memories of...
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
Yeah.
I mean, if I don't know, it's
like weird. I'm fine with the queen pretending she's Foss just to be like, all right, I don't get killed. Yeah, I'm Foss, and then being like, oh, okay, but
yeah, it's
the show takes a bit too many stretches at points, which hurts it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's kind of weird how she can just understand her. So, by the way, it's weird that she's a king, but she is a woman. Like, she's like the only person that has a defined gender.
I think she's the oldest one, so they didn't bother saying queen, and they just called her the king. It depends on how old she is in comparison to her brother.
Well, they go over that they don't live as long lives because they're not immortal like the gems. So I would guess she's in the hundreds.
I don't know.
No, because she's younger than Foss. So I'm guessing she's like 80, maybe.
They could probably live a long time, though, comparison, because they're bigger snat. I don't know.
Yeah. So...
they never say their ages.
Yeah. They just know that they are mortals and they do reproduce. Mm-hmm. Which makes it kind of weird that the brother was the one she chose to get back.
Well, no, she was just getting her family back first.
Yeah, but...
Because probably the royal family is stronger than everyone else. Much like the master who's at the top of the chain is stronger than everyone else.
Yeah. Episode 3.
That was Foss talking to the slug the whole time.
No, Dia, you mean, talking to the slug,
And...
No, that wasn't Dia. Dia talking to the slug was 2. Because she's walking around, and then at the end, she brings it to Cinnabar, and Cinnabar's like, well, slugs reconstitute their shells because of what they eat. And then she's like, oh, no!
Why are all of us idiots? Shit!
We are alive for immortality for roughly ever, and we just don't understand basic concepts of writing shit down that we see.
No, Jesus. That's why we chose.
Well, no, because paper is very rare, so they don't.
You could do that on a rock. That's what we used to do.
That would be like doing it on another person.
That's what we used to do. Do you not remember tribe skins?
No, that's Shadow. That's like doing it on a person to them. They can't.
Yeah, that's what we used to flame people and use their skin as
guess
books.
What we weren't cute little rock people. We weren't that either. So no.
You don't know what we were back then.
And they don't treat anything that isn't alive and walking as a person even. Like, so because she just cuts and chips the ruby and it's replacement parts unless it's moving on its own. Unless it can move, it's a replacement part.
So, episode 3, what happened? Oh yeah, in episode 2
Foss
we
talks to the slug in 3.
Yeah, we kind of see how much of a dick they are in 2 to Foss. Like, hey, she's a slug. She won't talk as much. Huh. I'm glad all you are nice people. Dia is the only nice one to her. Episode 3, she was talking to Slug, got the idea of going to the sea. Episode 4, she goes into the sea.
I wrote down her name as, like, not the queen or anything. I called her Flesh Thingy.
Flesh Thingy.
I didn't know what to call it because it was like I was really impressed. It's like, oh wow, it's one that's not Lolly's and is doing a slender frame and is emphasizing that. At least that gives it some credit. And then I see the flesh chick come out and he's like, these are my favorite assets. Jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. Praise be to them. Jiggle, jiggle. It's like, what the?
Well, it's implied flesh, so her body's the most important thing to her. Yada yada. AKA. She's the flesh is like humanity's greed, and
no, because but the souls have the greed because they want the gems.
Well,
the flesh, they want to collect everything, so they're the greedy ones.
That could be perceived as pride, like we need to, out of our pride.
I don't know. The way they look at those gemstones when they have them isn't like when they start to use them when they use whatever as arrows. Whoever the fuck is arrows, who gets forgotten about too after they create a hand and a leg. They pull out the arrows and they're all like fawning over the arrows. Like, oh wow, look how beautiful these arrows are. Then the arrows
pop out of the main thing's head.
Yeah.
Weird also. But it's kind of like, actually no, it's actually good explained why Antarctic really doesn't care that the thing has gems as weapons. Because Antarctic's kind of just like lonely, other than Sensei.
Well, but the gems can just be gems. That's the problem is they talk about this is something like let's say this is diamond. Let's say they're using diamond to attack us with. It's not necessarily diamond that they're using to attack because other diamond rock formations exist still. You could still get a diamond naturally. It's like amethyst. They were like, oh no, that's amethyst or Amethyst wasn't. It wasn't Amethyst. It was
I can't remember the name.
The blue one, the blue claw smashy that eats Amethyst.
Yeah, I gotcha.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, maybe it's Cobalt.
Cobalt? Yeah, I think it's Cobalt.
And
they're like, oh, that's Cobalt there. They didn't care. They left that behind also. So they're not all gems. All gems aren't people, but all people are gems.
No, some people are slugs.
Where were we?
We were on episode 5.
No, we were on 4 because I was talking about flesh thingy.
Yeah, you were 4, where she's like, hey, you
5 is when she gets her new legs, which is...
No, 5 is when the battle happens.
5 is when she gets her new legs.
Oh.
4. That's all 4.
Is it?
Yeah.
Does the battle happen on 4?
The battle happens on 4.
Wow, they crammed a lot of shit into these episodes. So, talk about the battle. Apparently the brother has tentacles. On his back. Ribbed for her pleasure.
They're gone anyways in that after this episode, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
they disappear and never get talked about again. Well, they get talked about once when they was like, I was able to talk to a sea thing, right? And Matt was like, yep, that might be why.
And then something humans, and then Master flips his shit. Very slightly flips his shit.
That's after she gets her new legs, though. After she starts walking. The whole legs episode is like, oh, the legs, and they're moving too fast. And then she runs out, and then it introduces Yellow Diamond as like, Yellow Diamond's super fast, and it's like, I can move so fast I can't stop running. And Yellow Diamond's like, alright, run into me and I'll catch you.
I'm sorry, I didn't know there's a rock underneath there. I thought that was hilarious, by the way. She just cracks. Because she's still brittle, but her legs aren't.
I don't know what about 6's. Foss panicked?
6 was when she teamed up with Amethyst.
Oh, yeah. And she got...
And she was...
Amethyst got, and then...
She freaked out, and I think they used Sapphire to attack them or something like that.
No, Bort saves... I think it's Cobalt. I think me and Shadow are...
I don't remember. I think it was Sapphire. I think they were saying Sapphire in that one. Cobalt was before.
Was
it? I think Sapphire was that one. Yeah, I think it was Sapphire that time. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that sounds right.
But of course, they didn't really say that until 7, though, because that was literally the start of 7. Was like, this is what happened previously, and here's the first second. I just started chopping down on them. It was like,
previously on.
I mean, it's like, there's the issue. It's like, the way it makes sense to do that just sucks the way we watch the show. When you're watching it weekly, it's nice to have that little minute to kind of remind you. Now, you know what? Screw One Piece, which gives you 5 minutes of the last episode, 2 introductions, and 8 minutes of an anime.
And then
most of it is flashbacks.
I was about to say 4 minutes. That's a flashback required.
I just counted that as part of the ending. Okay.
No, you didn't.
Okay.
There's about 4 minutes every episode where it's genuinely new content.
I'm fully aware.
That's why they're on episode 928.
Why do you think I hate One Piece?
It has great characters, though.
So does Naruto at times. Yeah. No, you're never going to catch me watching all of Naruto. Not even close.
Naruto Kai.
The issue, it's like, they should come out with a One Piece guy. Actually take a break. Wouldn't that be awesome?
No, they could do that.
They would cover 300 episodes in like 20 episodes. Because it'd be 20 actual episodes.
Okay, so 7...
We find out panics, and then because she panics, she decides to stay up during the winter because she needs to learn how to run when time needs her. So
no, it's actually... Because remember, she stays up because she's guilty.
Because she needs to be able to run when she needs to be able to. So
that's not the reason she stays up.
That's what she says when she tells Master. Is like she thinks to herself she needs to stay up when she needs to. She needs to be able to run when she can. So that's why she's staying up to practice during the winter when it's lighter and there's not much of an issue. I mean lighter,
but then she
not
feels
lighter.
The true reason why she is up in episode 8 to Antarctic.
Yeah, but that's not the point that we're at, Poison. We're at 7 where she starts to stay up through the winter. She doesn't go to sleep.
Which everyone apparently gets really pimped out when they go to sleep.
Well, because they get the energy from the sun.
No. I'm talking about like how they're dressed up. Like they can make their hair, which should be gems, but they can stylize it.
Yeah, they can do that. Nah. Just cutting and placing new gems in different places, but it's just dumb. Like again, it's like Board or Dia or someone goes on. It's like, why are we even wearing clothes? We're just sleeping.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter, and she's like, eh. It was.
We don't have no paper, but I'm going to make these pretty dresses.
Antarctic got the best, like one of the better roles in the entire show, because she had 2 episodes, sort of. She had 1.5 episodes.
I would say 3.
I would say 1.5. She has the episode where she's teaching, and then she has half the episode after she loses her arm, which is the next episode. So
yeah, and then she,
Antarctic or the Ice Crystal was really nice. Was a really good character. I liked her when she was doing most of her stuff during that episode. For instance, I really liked where she was just like all these dangerous people was like, no, I just throw a sheet on them, and they usually just settle themselves down. And it's like, what about Master? Sheet here too. Why? Does it do anything? I don't know. I just like to do it just in case.
Yeah, no, it's good how they fleshed out. I'm gonna say his. You can classify it as you want, Shadow.
They're
it's
all
your
female
rock, not
bodies.
my place to judge.
Should I start calling the Master her?
You can call the Master whatever you want, Shadow.
Should I call the Master her? Should I call that giant fleshy thing with big old floppy titty? He's a dude.
No, because those have a pronounced.
Do they now?
gender.
Because she calls herself king.
Yeah, I don't know why she calls herself king, because that's the weird part.
Yeah, does that sound weird to you? Does it also sound weird that you're classifying something with a lithe female body as a dude?
Is it weird that we're classifying anything? It's a rock. We are
like the most male sounding one was oddly enough
Hindu sculptures.
The most male sounding one was oddly enough the pink haired one when she woke up. Because she had a really deep voice at first, and I was like, what?
Yeah, and yeah. Oh.
But then afterwards, I was like, oh no, it's the same.
Yeah, so I really like his whole entire thing with the other gems is he has no connection with the other gems, so he's actually like he's not like a dick to Foss because he's met her once, maybe like. When she wakes up,
no,
that's it?
she saw Foss when Foss was a child, I believe. She was still young.
But, yeah, so she's not a dick to Foss. And I like that, because I don't like anyone being a dick to main waifu.
It's a gem poison.
I know.
It doesn't have that organ.
Stick your dick in a rock.
I can do what I want to.
He wants to. He can cut a hole, I guess. But God, would that take a lot?
She can make it.
I mean, he can cut it. He could technically make it a perfect fit.
If I want a rock body pillow, I can get it. I can find how I get my rocks.
Always just go back to boot camp. We have plenty of rock pillows there.
Yeah, don't.
Yeah.
Back
back to the dark days, huh?
Yeah, where my friends didn't send me any letters.
Exactly, to the dark days.
I spent 6 months thinking I fucked up all y'all's addresses. Apparently I didn't.
Oh, we had like a day where we all got on, we just like read your letters, and then we just forgot to write a letter back.
I hate all you. I hate all you so much.
We legit read them the same day to each other. It was great.
And here's the thing, my paper got thrown out, so I was like, oh, I'll just write down their address when I get the letter back. Graduation day, I was so... But, so... You guys are bad friends. I hate you.
Hey, you didn't even get mine, so you can't include me in this. I didn't want to be included into this, and you respectfully didn't push. So I'm not even included in this.
So
you
what
entirely
was worse,
Reddit
that Reddit didn't send me it, or that you didn't want to get any letters from me? Which one's worse?
That is a good point.
Which one, Shadow? Yeah, your high horse doesn't seem so high now.
My high horse is whole horse. I'm a whole 6 feet above you.
Oh god, that was why we don't need a JoJo reference here, dude. Come on now.
We need more JoJo references.
We don't. We got too many gems.
Spoiler alert! One of our suggestions is probably going to be JoJo's.
No,
too many gems here to be making a JoJo reference. Okay, yeah. We got too many gems here.
Diamond is unbreakable and whatnot.
No, it's not.
Oh yeah, and platinum too.
Yeah.
We don't have any vanilla ice cream though, so I mean we're gonna have a bit of trouble with this.
You know what? She had platinum in her. She had star platinum in her. Yeah. Why couldn't she control time?
You know what? You're right.
Okay, so now that we're to episode 9, where she gets her new arms.
No,
that's not
8.
9, right?
No,
8? Wow, kind of.
7 is really stupid, where she loses her arms. Because I like the thing that the minerals are talking to her, and she can kind of understand them. However, the randomness of how it happens again is the biggest problem with the show on how she loses stuff. It's just.
Well, how did her fall? How did her arm fall into there? It's kind of inferred that the ice is controlled by, because screaming is really referred to when they moved. Also, something it also infers that Sensei is again not being 100% truthful, because he says that the gems in there are just reverberating your own thoughts, reverberating thoughts of others. But he also told Antarctic that they are sinners, which means they had to have agency, which means they are their own thinking things, which also just implies Sensei is never like 100% truthful.
Then we have this time where it's like, yes, icebergs are actually incredibly deadly, ice flows are incredibly deadly and whatnot. But she sticks her hands in, or she falls off, and her hands are in there, and there's no ice flow that could have snapped them at that point shown. And she pulls her out, and her arms are gone. It's like, all right, well, they have to be down there. She goes down there, and they're just gone.
Well, they could have been ground to dust.
Like, I don't think so. Because then you probably would have seen that happen. Like, if the whole hole that she fell into closed, that would have made more sense. That would then make more sense.
Suddenly just came and attacked Antarctic.
But it looks like there's a random piece of ice down there that is aggressive and wants to eat other gems that's just flying around.
Well, the gems are constantly destroying all other icebergs.
Because it makes no sense.
Well, 2 icebergs attacked Antarctic, so we don't know anything about the icebergs.
Maybe you don't know what side the icebergs are on. The icebergs need a classification.
Let's just say
does every gorilla get strength?
There you go.
Does every gorilla get strength because all the rats get their own sniper stand? So does that mean that if you have other hawks, would they all get pet shop?
I don't know. Wait, what?
Stop with the JoJo references. We have too many gems here, man. Stop it.
Okay, so now that that's been, so now we're on to
the little girls. Jesus, can't believe
Foss losing her arms and to the mystical icebergs, which we don't know.
I'm a bit disappointed in episode 8 that Foss didn't make the "Hey, come here, I'll give you a hug and make you feel joke.
They did make some sort of joke like that.
No, she just waves her arms around.
I'm putting my hands up in protest. I mean, if they're on the bottom of the sea, they're definitely standing up in protest right now. Which, and that one point where she points with both her stubs.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cute moments in this series, which I think is what gave it its massive following.
I don't know. It was losing me primarily because of those moments, and this is where it started winning me. And
you don't like cute moments.
No, I'm fine with cute moments when it's earned.
You don't like when JoJo became a girl and was super kawaii.
Jolene, she wasn't.
No,
she was
no,
actually
not
an ice bitch.
When JoJo,
she actually gets convicted of a crime she didn't commit, and then she decides to go out and commit those crimes because she's like, "Fuck it."
Jonathan turns drags.
Oh, Jonathan!
Are you saying Jonathan didn't earn that?
See, there actually is a female Joestar, but
no,
Jonathan turning drag is one of the best fucking moments of the show because it's hilarious.
Exactly, a cute moment is
no, it's not cute. It's hilarious because he goes up to the Nazi guards and he's like dressed out in this outfit and he actually fucking thinks he looks hot. So he goes up to the guards and actually tries to seduce them as an 8-foot tall, 250-pound man. And he's like, "Hey boys, what's up?" And he's like, and they're looking at him laughing, and he's like, "Why are you laughing?"
Is he 8 foot tall?
He's like, he's 6 to 8 foot steel. He's ridiculous.
Like 6'10".
They're monsters.
They're giant.
They are monsters.
And they're like 300 to 250 pounds in the early ones. And he's like, "Hey boys," and he starts like pressing his breasts together. And they're just laughing. And he's like, "Why are you laughing?" And it's like, "You think you're a fucking girl? You look like a fucking ox." And he's like, "I think I look cute."
Yeah.
And it's like, that's how much Jonathan is in love with himself, where he even would fuck himself.
Would I fuck you? Would you fuck me?
It's one of the scenes that makes the fucking character so amazing.
So now it gets its new arms. Voss gets her new arm. God, this is so confusing.
I thought that looked really cool when she got the arms and you can see her breaking and the gold kind of molding in.
The only thing I don't like about the arms is that it makes it questionable at how much mass she has inside, because she goes from having an excessive amount and then not enough to even pick up her sword that's behind her in the later.
Well, it's
one of those things where they have no fucking clue how much she actually has, and it's not defined, and it's kind of.
Well, you never really get stuff like that defined in something like that.
Well, but she can do an excessive amount.
Stretched out his arms.
She does an excessive amount, and then sometimes she can't even move.
I understand what you're saying. Yeah, it could also just be based off of her natural stamina because it was her second time fighting that giant thing.
Yeah.
Don't forget she fought it earlier outside too. You know,
she
and
didn't really do much in that fight, though.
No, she didn't, but she still did enough. And then
and she still like.
But she specifically says, "Damn, not enough left," or she says something like, "Not enough. I don't have enough mass left. You need to pick up the sword, Lex." And she's like,
maybe
"No,
it's how much."
It was just an excuse to get Lex to do something. That's all.
Maybe it's because Shadow. Maybe it's because she has to have so much of her gold pushing the monster back.
Okay, now I'm gonna direct you towards the golden box and the golden flower scene. That is the first scenes that she has, and I'm gonna really just press you to tell me how she doesn't have enough mass to pick up her sword.
Because when those are happening, it wasn't actually perfectly infused into her body. Because when she's using her gold in her following episodes, it actually is running through all of her body, constantly causing cracks.
But that still is nowhere near enough mass.
She's basically hollow.
But that is nowhere near enough mass. There's an excessive amount of material in those scenes. And then she can't move 2 feet backwards.
And it all comes from just
and then she can create full decoys of herself that have a very strong link. Because she gets picked up by the decoy and thrown around by the decoy in that same fight. The gold being varying exists purely to force the story into certain portions, like the Lexi thing. It was the only reason that she was running out of gold there. And that was even brought up at all, ever, which I don't think it shouldn't have been, is to give Lexi a reason to have a weapon. The sword should have just been knocked farther away, and she should have just picked it up and not done anything. I'm saying that scene's stupid more than anything.
No, that part of the scene's stupid. Everything else just seems cool.
It's so brilliant.
I don't know. I think the person having an orgasm over killing something is kind of,
I came a little.
She really just screamed.
No, that was a bit of a...
Like, if it was...
I think she was blushing during it, too.
She wasn't blushing, I can tell you that. No, the...
I don't know, Cinnabar seemed to blush.
Like, have you seen the prison one with like the butt scene that we love?
Yeah.
You're a real ass man.
Yeah.
That has some. Oh no, it's not that. It's I'm thinking of the Reddit knows it. The where it's a girl. She's just betting all of her money. She's like, that's just penny change for me.
I hate Kakagari. That was so horrible.
Yeah.
That was a waste of an anime.
But you kind of remember like the interactions, like the
no, they were
fight
just
scenes?
no. We don't speak of that level of shit. Super was better than that.
No, you know what I mean though. Like the way her face was showing, she was like orgasmic.
Super was better than that show. We don't.
I know you don't like it, Reddit, but you remember the faces. That's what I'm going at here. You remember the faces.
Exaggerated old faces. Yes, of course I do. I don't want to remember.
It was nothing like
reminding me.
What, Shadow?
Ahegao times 2.
I don't know what that is.
Fuck silly face times 2.
Fuck silly face times 2.
Type in Ahegao. AHE.
I know what Ahegao is.
Yes, then why'd you have to?
Oh, I thought it was an anime, and you were just saying it weirdly.
Fuck silly the anime. That'd be a weird anime. That'd be a really weird anime.
High School DxD Season 5. After High School DxD Season 4 Hero, we have Fuck Silly Face. We ran out of ideas, y'all.
You know what? Put it on a DVD. We'll make money.
It will. But yeah. But now that we're talking about the arms, I like how like the new body parts kind of represent how her change is going along, her character development. So her first one is her legs, which make her way faster.
I feel like I'm in English class.
Can be.
I feel like I'm in an English class.
What?
Someone applying too much things into stuff that shouldn't be there.
I like this a lot. Okay.
And when the snowflake fell in the final scene, and it had it there in film class. Oh wow, it was so beautiful. It must have represented 1,000 things. Write an essay on a fucking snowflake that's falling in the final scene because it looks pretty. Fucking stupid is what it is.
I liked it a lot. So I went and just thought over this all day yesterday because someone didn't want to watch the anime. Nudge, nudge, I'm not the late one this time.
Enjoy it the one time you're not.
This is the one time I binged it because I was running late, and then I was like, oh man, guess I shouldn't have binged it because all y'all fuckers just fucking...
Hey, if it was up to me, we would have got it done on Thursday. Just saying. Partly into Friday.
Damn, they cut a little girl in half in Luminality.
What?
A peasant beggar, they cut her in half.
Wait, in what?
I'm waiting for you to go through your fucking long spiel on the representation of her arms and shit. So I picked up my .hack Liminality manga and started reading through it.
Oh, thank you, Shadow. And I can't skip 10 seconds off of a monologue.
Damn right. That's important.
He's ignoring you. You interrupted me. That's completely different.
We're not talking about you.
Okay.
You went into the situation.
This is the exact reason.
You went into this. How can I bring that shit back up? How can I? How can I be
somebody's an asshole and cuts off other people when they're talking about their things.
Fucking dick.
You stretch that so far, Reddit, that my arm is hurting.
I will stretch it as far as
my neck hurt from that twist.
Good.
Okay, back to my thing, so Shadow can continue reading when we're supposed to have a delightful discussion.
I did. I said I feel like I'm in English class again, and you questioned me, so I answered.
While reading .hack.
I've read like 3 different mangas already, so I can't comment on that.
I hate you both.
I've been through
this is a really good one. I went in with a clean slate, didn't expect much, and got something happy out of it. I can't wait for season 2.
Damn, I went like 12 chapters.
Okay. So, but no, it's like back to my rant.
Mm-hmm.
It made her move faster because she wasn't tied down. She lost some of herself, which could be said about change. You have to lose some of yourself to gain something new, which is both the arms and legs. But with the arms, she had to pay something, which weighed her down. In this theory, the gold.
I mean, you might as well say the arms and like 75% of her body.
Yeah. What do you consider? I would say it's like 2/3.
Well, no, she doesn't have legs anymore, which was a third. She lost her arms, which was like, I'd say a fourth. I'd say arms are about a fourth in that scenario.
Yeah, I would say she lost 45%.
And then she lost most of her chest because the gold had to fill into her chest.
Yeah.
And
she's literally not like.
She's
literally not the same person.
She's probably 1/4 Foss, 2/3 platinum and gold, and then the rest is the agate.
Agate.
Whatever
gem.
the shell was.
Yeah, it's Agate.
Agate.
I don't know how to pronounce it. Yeah, agate.
I'm not fond of those.
Because the whole entire rest of the series, she's weighed down by Antarctic, and in theory, the gold too.
I have a feeling that it's Antarctic chipped inside of her, because Antarctic was chipping all over the damn place in that final scene.
It's possible that she doesn't.
So I'd actually like to think that it was just the reason she's getting such strong like horror flashbacks of her is because a bit of her chipped off into her and has just been kept in there by the gold.
Well, yeah, that might be, and also that she.
No, she did bitch about her poking her in the head in the special.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just
no, not even in the special. In the thing, she's like, "Oh no, you're hitting me! Stop hitting me! You're gonna hurt me!
Yeah.
You're gonna chip me!
You're gonna chip me! You're gonna chip me!"
Yeah.
It's like, you're not gonna break.
Speaking of which, more Buddhist representation. That was a lotus flower she became when she broke out of that box, which is a symbol of rebirth.
And now that cool, nice little thing that I saw is now religious and now makes me hate it more. Nice.
That was beautifully animated. And
it was. And now that it's religious, it makes it less interesting.
See, this is what I was saying, man. It's like you either make it a mainstay, stop making a secondary thing. It's either the core or it's not.
See, what I see is that's just the influence it took out of. But apparently, any little thing makes you hate it.
Well, no, but when it's actually going for it.
So if they just drew a flower and it just looks like a lotus flower? That makes more sense.
They shouldn't have kept the theme. If they were going for it, they should have pushed harder and they should have ignored it more. Dark
Souls halfway through should have became a MOBA.
Honestly,
should have kept its theme.
Honestly, maybe.
Oh, don't you do this, Shadow?
I'd play Dark Souls more. Because I would do better in that because I got to NG plus 9. Most people don't even beat 1. So, you know.
Wait, don't.
When we're talking about and when we're talking about Dark Souls MOBA, because I played Sorcerer in the beginning, and Sorcerer had the problem in Dark Souls of your shit permanently. Because by the time you get enough spells to do anything, the spells don't hit for shit. You're basically throwing pebbles at the enemy.
Yeah, that Souls feels one giant snow and Ornstein.
Loved it.
The salt mines are open for
doing
business.
the DLC in NG plus 8 was amazing. I had so much fun.
Well, guess what, man? I was a warrior. So I was just as strong halfway through my first playthrough.
Yeah.
Guess what I did my first playthrough? I saw a guy that said, "Hey, you should go to those ghouls underneath. That's a good soul farm." I sat there for 8 hours.
Well, you made that life decision, sir.
And guess what I bought with it? Soul arrow. That's all I got. I got a little bit extra, but I only farmed like 4 mobs. So I got 10 souls every run, baby. Then I had to go up the elevator and back down the elevator.
Incredibly stupid. Why would you even think that?
In fact, even if it was
I saw it on a guide, I never follow IGN ever again.
You should have realized, like, I'm only getting 40 souls. Like, you walked up like, oh, this costs 300. Yeah, no,
I got 10 souls because they said to only kill certain mobs. Or they only showed me certain mobs. I was like, oh, those are the ones I should kill then.
I don't think that was their intention.
I know. I realize that now, Reddit.
Good. I'm glad you realize that now. I wasn't sure. I thought maybe
Because if I did realize that by now, I'd be like, hey guys, I almost finished Dark Souls. I almost have enough souls to buy the one piece of armor to finish my set before I go out into the world.
Don't worry, I'm a solid level 11.
I don't think I would get to level 11. But now, episode where they all wake up.
That was nice, but I touched on it early. It's kind of annoying how they're all like, ah.
Yeah, I didn't like that episode at all. Like,
What?
I didn't like.
Oh,
they just
fawning
over. They find out her new arms.
Well,
yeah,
her,
and
because
fawning
it is
over
her.
all of her new arm. That part of like I didn't like that at all.
Yeah, I thought there was some funny scenes, but other than that,
I got a giggle.
nothing.
I got a giggle initially, but it got annoying fast, and they milked way too hard.
I liked Sensei. One line, he was like, "It was a joke." Sensei, she's leaving. It was a joke, though. Like just stone cold. No one understands his humor. I like Shadow. Nah, that's a joke.
Disgusting.
That was a jab. That was comical humor. Can't enjoy it.
That was a really shot.
That was a shot in the dark.
That sounds like someone
I'm to blame.
grudge more than anything.
What?
Sounds like I didn't laugh at the rape joke, and Poison was like, "Why didn't you laugh at my rape joke?"
I didn't say the rape joke because you weren't having a funny time. So I read the room, which is all rape jokes.
Wait.
If you want a rape joke to go good, you got to read the room.
You read the room, and the room said, "Told me a rape joke."
No, the room was pissed at me for even thinking about it. Or one half of the room was pissed at me for wanting to say it. So I didn't say it. I got Shadow's imminent hatred of the joke, so I said, no one's going to laugh.
Oh man, I can't wait to see Okuya in a bikini. It's going to be great. She shows up in her dog form. Oh, come on!
What?
A werewolf
Kuya.
girl in Dot Hack Legend of Twilight.
Oh.
So where are we
Okay.
now?
We're at episode 10 still.
Really?
Yep.
That's where the big one invades. I don't think we're there yet.
No, that's
No, I'm not.
11.
That's the dog invading.
No, 10 is, because 10 is
She
the fight
takes
scene.
over most of the duties would be 9, where she's sitting there and they wake up at the end, but in the beginning she's going around and she's actually smart and just informs Master rather than trying to take it yourself to look cool. Like even Amethyst was like, no, that was stupid. We were dumb. Should have probably just went and got help. We wanted to impress you.
That. It's funny. She got mastered, and she just walks outside like, okay, let me kill it now.
Yeah.
She just watches like.
Well, because she wanted to make sure it wasn't a T2, basically. I think.
And then she's like, I'm going to go investigate.
Because if it was a T2, it would have been bad.
Well, and she still needed Master there because she didn't keep her concentration.
I mean, she would have been fine. She would have just fell and cracked a bit, but she's mostly gold anyway, so it doesn't matter really.
Yeah, but it's incredibly painful for her to use those abilities. Yeah, she fractures every two times.
That's the questionable thing. That's one of the questionable things that they bring in that actually makes me start liking it is if she just could she just get rid of all of her phosphate or whatever that's in her, period?
Yes.
Because her body is now more others than phosphate, so she would still technically hold her frame with the other ones rather than phosphate. She just wouldn't remember her old self, and she would entirely remember her new self being who she is. Because her things are entirely within her new body.
Does her new body retain memories? Because phosphite, her core element retains memories, but she doesn't remember. As soon as she gets her legs,
can just have a small heart inside of her that's a small shard of phosphite, and that'll be her memories, and you could just roll with that.
But if
I'm pretty sure gold and agate can, because they even talked about how agate's a good material. Because the nanomachines or the nanobodies, the microscopic bodies, can inhabit inside of it. So I'm pretty sure if it takes, it's good, is what it is.
Yeah, but...
because she still learns new memories, remember. Even with her body completely shattered. She forgot everything about the Lunarians and stuff. And then when she gets questioned by Lexi, she stays up reading that nonstop because she's up forever, and Lexi's exhausted by the end of it, and she's quizzing Lexi on the stuff.
Which is a good scene. I like that scene.
Funny, yeah.
And her key just, even though it's painful, it's kind of like it's a null pain when she barely uses it. It only gets painful when she forcibly uses it, like when she starts cracking because of it. But every time she uses it, she has those micro tears. It's like working out, I would assume. Because you technically tear your muscles every time you work out.
It's more like you lose bits of yourself every time she does that.
Well, she doesn't chip. She just
no, she chips. She kind of like does. She loses a bit of herself every time she uses the power, or something. She uses it too much, it'll just start fracturing.
Well, whenever she cracks, she's breaking off a small piece of herself. She's causing it to crack. So regardless, she's still using very small shards.
It's referenced that it's kind of like, what's those pots that people glue back together with gold? I don't know what's called. Shadow.
What, pots? What about pots?
Yeah, like pots that they just glue back together with gold. I don't know what's called. I know that some people do it.
Oh like God! You just reminded me from fucking that one arc in goddamn Hunter x Hunter, where they where they do the fucking.
I don't know.
They do this shit where they start talking about forgeries and which ones are fake and which ones aren't fake, and how do you get into gems and how do you get into hidden stashes without people noticing, bait and switches and like sideways or oh God.
Yeah, well, but it's I feel like it's implied that she doesn't lose any of herself. It's just that it sticks to the gold and it's just painful to put her back together. Where
I'm pretty sure I remember.
No, dude, her personality starts changing. The way she even talks to people changes so much.
Oh yeah, but that's after she loses her arms.
Well, even like the more she uses her power, you see slight changes in the way which she acts. Still, I think she loses pieces of herself. Still,
well, we don't see that. Like, I really like it started 10 and then goes in. I don't see any like changes in her personality.
It's like I think the more she's her, I think. I don't think it's just like sticks to her gold.
Yeah, I feel like it sticks because you don't see any of it like go away.
You wouldn't see any of it go away because it's microscopic.
Yeah,
it isn't a big shard. It's
well, that wouldn't have a major impact on her personality, like you're saying.
Well, over the course of a month, it wouldn't.
Of course, of time it will though. And it's not a major, but it's a very slight impact.
By the way, I didn't know if you guys. So the reason her hair looks different is because. When they were
cuts it to replace most of her body, that was completely unusable.
Okay, now let's apply that to the girl who's comatose. Or the guy that's comatose.
You're the one that said that she was incomplete or something.
Yeah, I know, but wouldn't they could just cut her hair and then like wake her up for periods of time?
I don't know. That's why I was asking it.
Yeah, no, which they don't go into that a lot. Maybe they do in the manga.
That's my biggest problem with the show is that they don't go into anything that should probably be addressed. In fact, it ends on one of the largest cliffhangers in the entire series, which is
that was so bad.
But okay, so we are at
the fight scene,
Shido, where he's going into the school, right?
No, he hasn't appeared yet. But Bort and Foss team up.
Yeah.
That's in the episode where we're at.
Okay.
Where Diamond spends the whole entire night telling Foss everything about Bort. Which shows like their connection.
No.
Yeah, it does.
I don't know. It shows that she knows a lot about Bort and Bort doesn't really know a lot about
No, we didn't ever see what Bort thinks about Dai, except that she wants to protect her. At the end there.
And earlier on too, when they talked to Dai and they're like, why doesn't Dai fight really well?
Why aren't you teamed up with someone more appropriate? Because we're dumb.
Because Bort's Soul's master. Fuck you. She's my bitch.
Yeah.
You may be the master.
But then she gets the upgrade, and then Bort's all like, "All right, you're good enough. Come with me." Immediately dropping Dia. Dropping Dia.
She looked at her and she was, "It's going."
Yeah, then it foils the whole finding your place in society kind of thing, because now Dia has lost her.
Character. Look up character foil, Poison. You used
What?
that 4 times now, and I think you've used it once properly.
Yeah. No, foil is like a character that's going through the same scenario.
Oddly enough, foiling has something to do with gems.
Hey. Man, I'll look it up real fast. Let's see actually like way you use it.
But character foils are meant to be opposites. There's no stark contrast. Especially comparing her Foss to Bort at the end, where Foss is actually somewhat similar to Bort at the end, because she's kind of dulled.
In some cases of subblocking. Critical.
Don't hurt this book.
Traits of characteristics. That's cool. Okay, yeah. So yeah, no, it shows like it going through what I just read. It's like someone who contracts the character, so someone who's going through the same scenario, but we see it played out differently. So yeah, Dia would be a foil. Because
instead of not having a place, she lost her place. There's a difference between not.
Yeah, but we see in her eyes what it's like to not have a place in society.
I don't think she really realizes that. I think it's more like, oh shit, I don't have my sword.
We can see it during the flower scene, the 10-30 seconds of that scene.
You mean where she was happily placing the flowers and happily saying...
Oh, she was not happy.
Saying that she found... Bort found a better partner than she was because she was a terrible partner for Bort? They were going through that?
And when someone just picking up flowers and slowly putting them into pot, talking about...
Because she doesn't have anything to do. What does she have to do right now? She's got to do something else.
She can become the Master Scholar.
Could be. Honestly, it wouldn't be bad. She could use her fingers to write in the rock. And actually write something down.
What do they have to write with, by the way?
Themselves! They are gemstones!
No, not on the rock, into paper.
Dia is literally the hardest one if you use it properly.
Yeah, that's why in the fight scene... That's why in the fight scene, her arm cuts better than the sword, because the arm is sharper than the sword, because it's a fractured piece of diamond. Which, I don't know, also...
Cleanly fractured, too. That's a very clean cut.
Yeah, that was a very clean cut. Well, that's because diamonds fracture very specifically. They fracture along specific lines.
But that was more...
And that line was specifically point from...
to a wall, though.
Yeah, but that line was specifically cut from episode 2? 1?
No.
Yeah, it's the same cut, I think.
No.
I'll give me a sec.
In 2, she has her glove in a hand because she throws it away when the snail's about to eat her. Her hand's in a glove and she throws it away.
Isn't it?
It's not enough to be a blade. It's nowhere even close. In fact, it's a completely different cut. No, it just shatters.
No. Yeah, because it's like on her upper elbow in the fight scene.
What the fuck did I write there?
She runs very well with no leg.
I mean,
by the way, like when
also Naruto ran for a little bit.
Yeah. She's a diamond. She can do whatever she wants.
But the drag slows you down, though. It's not aerodynamically logical.
She could just cut off her head and throw it. You don't know.
The big one's fine.
She could just throw her head at the enemy. That would be a pretty...
That fight scene was pretty
Dia,
well done.
Or was it... I don't know if it's Dia's fight with it or if it was Gold,
Dia's fight.
Because it's been a couple days now. But one of them in particular was really nice. No, I think it was Foss, because it was when she was using the gold to lift up to Shido and attack it, and the camera was 100% tracking and not cutting and following her the whole way up. That was really nice.
Oh yeah, no, it's when I think you're talking about when she impresses or tries to impress. Was Amethyst in there at all?
No.
Amethai? No.
Nah, isn't he the one where Lex picks up the sword and starts attacking?
I don't know.
Maybe.
I think that was the scene he's thinking about.
It might have been D. It might have been D, and she was just running, maybe, and she was getting hit and running, maybe. I don't know.
Oh no, I think it's when she first spawned.
Again, this is why I say
the dog...
it's a bad idea. It's because I normally have a 100% recollection, and it's gone to shit because I binged.
But no, he's talking about when
Jesus.
the dog first spawned. That's when he's talking about, most likely, because that had her going up still, and I think I know what scene he's talking about. I watched.
So then you have the annoying part where they're all running around trying to get the dogs, and that's.
I like when it started and
it was worth a giggle, but they ran the joke too long.
Yeah, the joke ran a little bit too long. But no, I'm talking about when the start.
But the best part was when Diamond gets reconstructed. She's like, "What? I get to see the cute ones. I just got the big mean one. That's the only one I got."
That was hysterical.
That was the one good part of that joke. They could have done that much quicker though. So
I thought it had two good parts. The one where all the dogs were on board, and she's like, "Oh, I can't kill this. They're too adorable."
I was all every time the dogs were on screen, I was questioning why they had buttholes. Why they had buttholes? It was just,
That and the last good joke of that, I guess the 3 now I think about it, is the doctor just like, "Oh no, I tried to dissect it. It didn't work very well. I don't know why. Here you go."
No, I just made another one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But her first instinct was, time to dissect.
Yeah, I was just like a carry on to the beginning. I was like, "Oh, it's Foss." It's like, "Okay, it's Foss." So I'm gonna cut her open then.
Time to put those gemstones up. No.
Then you have the whole relaxing and the whole school falling asleep. I'm just gonna keep calling it a school at this point. The whole school falling asleep inside of the giant dog, which was stupid. It
was so fluffy though.
No, and that's fine, but then the master not talking to Foss about why he knew that and ignoring it was really fucking.
Yeah, it's like, why is he hiding these things?
Why he's hiding?
It brings up the questions, yes, but at the time it's like, why? Literally, what do you gain from not answering
we don't
me
know.
right now?
We don't know. That's the thing.
And that's the. But at the point, it's like, don't ask. Would have been a better answer at that point than fucking going off and saying absolutely nothing and pretending to fall asleep and then just moving.
Yeah.
And then he kills it, or it goes to its own fucking land.
It moves on.
All dogs go to heaven 3. Some dogs still go to heaven though.
We don't know where it went. We don't know what happened to it.
Cute, fluffy dogs though.
And my PC's hot right now. Oh no, it's just hot. That was not a joke. Don't laugh at my PC.
And you have 12, where 12 is actually 12 is nice because it goes into how Foss isn't just because she doesn't have any of her old self, so all the brainwashing that Sensei did is gone. It's just all gone, and she's like, "That was weird. That was actually really fucking weird. Why was that like that?" And the only person who's even remotely like that is Cinnabar. Because she's been so far away for so long, and she's just like, "Yeah, no, it's weird. I don't know if to trust it either."
Well, no, it's like her thing was like, the rest just blindly trust him. Like we've all had this thought, but they all just blindly trust him. And then Frost says, "What about you?" I still don't know.
Honestly, the best part of this episode was when they resurrected the one thing, because it gave the best sentence basically in relation to Foss in the story, I think, where she's like, "Yeah, I could tell her to stop resurrecting me because it's a pain in the ass and it's not really worth it, and I'm only up for a brief period of times." But how would I even start that conversation? How would she even listen? It's just like, you could bring it up that the master's doing some sketchy shit, but would anyone listen? And even if you did find proof, would anyone really care?
Like, no. It was more like not what anyone cares. Like,
no, because I don't think they would give a shit if she brought it up.
What she was saying more, though, is what is the consequence of the truth? Learning what the master's doing is real shady. Will it bring any good? Even if you bring it to light and you get everyone to follow it. You know what I mean? Like, is it going to be a good thing, or is it just going to make something worse? Sometimes
it's a Batman thing.
Sometimes it's better to live in a lie than learn the truth. That's what she was.
It's a Batman thing.
I didn't get that. I got that it was just like, how would you even?
I got what
would
Reddit
anyone
said.
even follow into that?
Yeah,
believe, because I don't think any of the other gems would even give a single shit if you said no, but he was a Lunarian.
No, I get what you're saying, Shadow. That's true, but what you were just saying though is
I feel like it's just a mix in between both of you right now.
Because even Antarctica tried to stop her when she went to bring it up or the ice gems tried to stop her when she was.
Yeah, where
he's like, you knew too, and it's like, and she's going, shh, don't.
Like, yeah.
So that's actually the scene that makes me think that Antarctica is actually a part of her still, because just the way that worked, the whole scene there was a lot of gold there too. So the ending sucks because there's no ending.
Yeah,
we can all agree.
It's
the biggest problem with the show is that it's 12 episodes.
Yeah, that's very apparent.
Yeah,
because I can't give a good rating, a strong rating to literally fucking anything that's not done. Because I gave a strong rating to Attack on Titan, and then it shit the bed.
Titan's not done.
Yeah, but it shit the bed so unbelievably hard, it's not funny. It's sad.
Yeah, well, it's not even that it's not that it's done. It's just that it hasn't had a long enough runtime for you to see where it's going. You have no idea direction.
And where it's already gone is bad.
Yeah, I liked it.
It's been good and bad.
I liked where it spread.
Every single person from that class that was even the slightest bit unique was a fucking Titan. All of them.
Oh, you're talking about Attack on Titan.
All of them.
Horrible. That was horrible.
Someone unique character.
Armin is a Titan.
Oh, never mind then. I'm wrong.
Armin is a Titan.
I apologize.
The other one isn't Levy.
So Masaka's a Titan too?
Actually, I don't know. No, you're right.
No, wait for season 3. She'll be a Titan in season 3. They're all gonna become Titans.
No, because season 3 Shadow is
the Titaning, where they all form together in their Titan powers to make one big Titan. They all jump on the Colossal Titan and use their individual powers?
Titans.
No, the Colossal
Titan. So,
Titan
Eren Yeager's sitting on the head because he's the leader, and he's, commanding the Colossal Titan where to punch. And then when the Colossal Titan leads into headbutt, Eren starts punching the guy with the headbutt to make a stronger headbutt. It's Zords, but only they're Titans. It's gonna be perfect. The Bizarre Titans are gonna sit on the feet, biting with the feet. It's gonna work. The Armored Titan just blows a hole through the chest of the other guy, because it doesn't need it, and just supports the body, because he's armored, and protects everybody else. It'll work. They'll make it work. It's already Power Rangers enough at this point. It'll work.
Armin is the Colossal Titan.
No, he's not. It's the fucking...
Yes, he is.
It's the fucking one guy.
No, he is the Colossal Titan. At the current moment of the story, he is the current Colossal Titan.
But Rainier's the armored, and he's with Bertolt, and they have the whole scene where he's running away.
No. Armin gets injured, and they turn him into a Titan and have him eat the Colossal Titan to become the Titan. Colossal Titan.
Well, at least they killed Bertolt off.
Yeah. And the Armored Titan gets away and trains the next Armored Titan.
Mikasa gonna cannibalize. Yeah, Annie, that's hilarious.
I don't know if that happens, but it probably will.
I'm just imagining a scene of Annie walks out and Mikasa's just giving her a look.
No.
And she walks a bit far and just cuts off a leg and starts eating it.
No, you have to become a Titan to eat the current holder of the Titan power to become a Titan master.
And then the Titan command is just scattered throughout. Yeah. And it just randomly pickpockets random fucking people. So
pickpockets? What?
The fucking Titan command to command the Titans just randomly bounces between them. Or some shit.
No. It's the same concept. So,
But Eren didn't need anybody. And he commanded the Titans. Don't start this. You're gonna...
No, Shadow. Eren ate his father, which was the current holder of the
But other people
Titan.
were using it.
Yeah, because...
And Eren screamed at other Titans before.
Yes, well, here's the thing, Shadow. Let me run you through this. Eren ate his father. His father was... I don't think
you know this, because I don't even think the people who write it know it.
The manga.
Eren ate his father. Father was Command Titan. Eren became a Titan and ate his father. That was that beginning sequence. Now, Aaron's father ate the previous holder.
But why does the gorilla have it?
How could the Beast Titan
command
other Titans?
He's commanding them, though.
No, you see, Shadow. Here's the
thing.
So
does Rainier.
Here's the thing.
So does Bertold.
Let me run you through this. If you
they
have
specifically
royal blood in
say, "Oh no, he has it now. We can't let him keep that. We got to get it away from Aaron."
Yes. So here's why. If you have royal blood in you, you can command Titans. If you're a Titan master.
So the Pokemon now is what you're telling me. You get enough gym badges and you can start commanding level 99.
Yes, but instead of gym badges, you have royal blood. And how the Gorilla Titan has it, by the way, is because secretly there's a whole entire nation surrounding this island that they're on, and they use Titans in warfare. So they have this whole entire Titan hierarchy of training.
This is getting unbelievably stupid.
And they're so advanced. The reason they don't attack the place and all they do is make people into Titans and send them onto the island, and hopefully one day they'll do it. But they were like, yeah, it's taking too long, so we're going to send our Titan army against them. But we can't have the Command Titan in there because the Command Titan can command the walls to go out and destroy the rest of the world, but they can't because the Command Titan's one of its users was a peaceful guy, and that peacefulness is transferred to all the Command Titans.
So basically what you're telling me is Attack on Titan is utter fucking garbage. Is that it's utter garbage. And while you even talking about it has reduced you to tears.
It was supposed to end at
like... do you understand why hatred for this show and story? How stupid it is.
Yes, I know, because it was a thing, it got too popular.
Now imagine the students in that auditorium doing that dance after season 4.
What? Season 4? What?
You know it's gonna get there. The first season did so well, it'll propel into 3, and then 2 and 3 will do so well that they'll get a 4th.
Well, you see, Shadow, season what the last thing I read, and the last thing I read.
Yes, the commander of the city is actually a Titan too.
No.
Everyone's a Titan.
No. Well, technically. Technically, they are. I'm not gonna get into that.
So we called it. We called it years ago. It ended up Titan v Titan warfare.
Yeah,
everyone's a Titan because they all come from the original girl who made a deal with the devil.
Sure.
So they all have Titan blood. That's why it just takes one injection to turn someone into a Titan. Or why the gorilla guy can literally scream and turn everyone around him into a Titan.
Sure.
That's what they use, Shadow.
Sure.
I'm not lying to you.
That's and when I see that in the anime eventually, I'm gonna go, sure. and I'm just gonna say, you are already garbage to begin with.
Are you gonna watch the anime at that point?
No.
I already stopped.
I'm going to recommend.
No, I never even saw S2. When it's done, when AOT is done, it's gonna be up there. Because the first season starts so high, and then it just goes straight off a cliff at the end of the first season. I don't know how it just, it built its cliff up and then just fell straight off and didn't, get a clean jump off.
By the way, we
falls down the rock face.
Speaking of rocks, let's get back to the original anime.
Which goes off of the waterfall, and then which leads to a bottomless pit.
And then, while bouncing in between the left and right sides of the pit, don't forget, so it constantly hits stuff. It's not a slow
episode
fall.
11 and 12, we were talking about those generally.
Sensei's got past within our eyes. We're talking about the ending. There was
the end.
Yeah, now at the end, and you guys don't like the cliffhanger because it just sets up.
No, because it's annoying because it's not finished. It's
just
unfinished shows are the worst because they.
I just thought that was just a bad cliffhanger and all. Like it wasn't.
It's just like in the end Halo 2, and he's like, "I'm gonna finish this fight."
Yeah, exactly.
It's not even like that though.
It is like that.
No, it's not, because that's the thing that at least gets you excited. You don't get excited like, I want you to be my partner. Maybe.
No, she declines it.
No, she says it would be fine if I would be your... No, she says at the end, it would be fine if I was just your partner, though, right? Like, if we went out together.
What if we team up? What if we just teamed up? But basically, it was like, it was meh. It wasn't a good cliffhanger. It wasn't even like a cliffhanger that had you on your seat, like...
It just... it's like, oh, look at all these... It shows you how things are going to go.
Stale.
But it doesn't
do anything
with it.
Stale cliffhanger. It left you, like, not excited.
Yeah, it feels like that was going to bleed into episode 13.
It's almost like when Cell gets knocked off a cliff and he's holding on to the cliff and the announcer goes, is Cell defeated? And he's holding on to the cliff and it's like, he can fly!
Cell? What?
There's an episode in the English dub of Dragon Ball Z when they're fighting Cell that Cell gets knocked off a cliff and he holds on to the side of a cliff. He's about to fall into a hole or some shit. He's like, is Cell defeated? And it's like, no, he's gonna fly away. What do you
even... Which Cell was this?
Cell. Any of them.
No, I know. Was it perfect? I don't know.
I don't remember. All I remember
I'm
is
trying to remember
cliffhanger
where...
in DBZ.
It couldn't have been perfect,
which was
Cell.
stupid.
It couldn't have been perfect Cell, because Perfect Cell was in the arena.
It was stupid is what it was.
On that. They didn't even finish Goku's fight in the arena. They just literally destroyed the arena halfway through the fight. So there was no like cliffhanging part of Cell there.
It had to be the original Cell.
It was perfect or imperfect. It was not unperfect or imperfect.
It wasn't the original Cell, because they didn't... They just only fought Piccolo for like 2 seconds.
Yeah, it might have been imperfect.
Well, if it was imperfect, where was a cliff then?
I don't know. They were on an island. It could have been the water. It could have been him holding on to that.
Perfect was hanging on the edge of water.
That would make it even dumber. Is this the end of Cell? I can't swim. Vegeta, help me.
The freeze the cells. I can't swim. Okay, yeah. So, see, that's what I'm saying. It feels like it was supposed to be into episode 13 of a 24-part.
Yeah,
and they don't end it with charts.
And then 14 is supposed to lead on. 24 is supposed to lead on to the next season.
Mm-hmm.
But
they did it.
This is like where the ending of like this season's character arc development comes out. Because first she wants to figure it out something for Cinnabar purely out of kind. Like, I want to find something better for you. Now she's like, oh, you're useful. Can you help me with my
She doesn't have
plans?
any old relations with her because she doesn't remember her.
Yeah, she doesn't know. I mean, she remembers
told,
her promise.
She was told her promise, and then she even forgot in the phrasing.
No,
and when Cinnabar reminded her of the phrasing that she used, she's like, well, this isn't going to be much better.
Yeah, well,
it's gonna be
she
bad.
didn't tell anyone her original plan. Yeah. Remember, she never actually told anyone.
Because the ice gem was like, no, don't. Don't.
Wait, what?
The ice gem, when she was about to tell anybody about her plan, was like, shh.
No. I'm talking about, like, Foss never told anyone she wanted to get a better job for Cinnabar.
No, she
was actually very...
She did at one point, yeah.
Yeah, no, she literally said it. Like, the next episode, she was telling people.
No, she was like...
No, there was a point where she wasn't, but she did say it at one point.
They talked about the poisonous again.
Yeah.
It was legit the next episode, and then they started talking about the poison about her again. So it was like, there's no... She can.
Well, no, it's what's it called?
She brings it up to Master in particular.
Yeah, Master. That's what it was.
I'm trying to find a different job for Cinnabar, and she's like, I've been trying to do that for a while, and I couldn't find it.
Yeah, no, and that was the only person she actually told her plans to was Master, because all the other ones, she's like, I can't tell you. Can you please tell me something I can't tell you about? And then they're like, good luck. We don't care about you. If you turned into Slug, we would care about you even less.
But then she's adorable. I think they carry her more in all honesty.
She's already adorable.
Not really. She's more adorable when she gets the golden arms.
Oh, dude, man. I see you're more of a tentacle man, huh, Shadow?
Yeah.
I see you're more of a botch girl kind of guy.
I see Poison's the kind of guy that goes outside and sees a hole in the cement and is like, cement hole. Gonna stick my dick in that cement can.
I need to cement my relationship with her.
Hey, I'm gonna make sure it's perfect shape, man. It's like,
hey, at least I'm honest. You like botch chicks.
I don't know what that is.
It's like, you know the hairstyle?
No.
Like really mannish faced looking women.
No. He's not mannish at the end. What?
She's more mannish than she was when she started.
No, she just doesn't have much emotion in her face anymore. Because she doesn't have a personality anymore.
Okay,
she has to
well, let me rephrase that. You don't like emotions in women.
Correction. I don't like overly happy people, because I like the ice chick. I like her. But I don't like her in the beginning when she's like, everything's funny. Whoa. Oh, no, don't do that. It's a bit annoying. That's why I liked it so much when she got to episode 8.
So, final thoughts?
It was a good start with a bad. It was a good and a bad start. Shows a lot of premise. It was definitely better than I was expecting. I'm interested in seeing more, but right now I couldn't keep it more than a 6.
Poison?
Okay. No, it's mine, so I'll finish it off.
Okay, fine. I
Oh,
didn't really like it in the beginning. In the beginning, it was kind of losing me, and then they started actually using their. When the time got on, they started using their animation a bit more. Started using it properly, and they started. It felt like they were kind of lost in purpose in the beginning, and then slowly over the course, they realized they could do something more with it. And as they started doing something more with it, I started liking it a lot more. To the fact that I was incredibly disappointed when it didn't end, and I wanted more of it. Unfortunately, doesn't end. So I would normally give this maybe an 8 if it turns out well, but as it stands right now, I can't even recommend it because it's just not, there's nothing there really. So I'd probably give it a 6, maybe a 7. I'm probably going to go 6 with Reddit.
Thank you.
I'm curious, what is your recommendation rating?
My recommendation?
I'm
Well, 6
curious.
is good, but it's not like, what do you mean? Like, wait, what do you mean?
Like, if we were to recommend this, it says, what would your rating be? Have to be. Or let's just say someone we know.
Look, I would recommend it to somebody, but I would be like, look, this is an interesting anime. It's just kind of starting. It looks like it's going to get better in time. Check it out. It's worth a look at. Because right now, I would say it's worth looking at. I ain't going to say it's great because there's not enough content out, and the content they get is a little off. It gets weird at points. But I would
and all the OVAs are going to be just like character directions, building up the minor characters.
I really like this show too, which is the problem. But if it ended here, I would hate it. It would like if it ended and this was the last season, it would go a 4 because there's nothing solved, there's nothing resolved.
Yeah,
it's just awful at that point.
If that was the case, I would rate it like animation 10. I love this animation style, and I'm glad they put it up and they did it beautifully. If story-wise, it would be I would say it's less than 1.
Yeah, no, I would agree, but it's
they just gave you so many characters that they didn't have enough time to flesh out a lot of them in a meaningful way. Because they fleshed out like the Doctor and Yellow, but they didn't flesh them out in a meaningful like flashbacks. I hate saying that, but yeah. So my thoughts again: beautiful animation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really glad they did it. Ruby has kind of the same animation, but not to this scale.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say overall rating, because I see its potential, I say about 7. And I would agree if it stopped here, about 2. And yeah, I really liked it. It's one of those animes where I like kind of want to read the manga, but then I wouldn't get the same beautiful animations. So
I don't think the manga holds much value in comparison, because when you compare something to that works so well in motion and that works so well with color and is so primarily focused on color and motion, bringing it to a manga, which seems like, as Reddit said, an early alpha, is just a huge... You'll get the story, so if it stops, that might be a good option. But if it doesn't stop and they do continue the show, don't touch the manga with a 10-foot pole, almost. Like, just leave it.
Yeah,
it exists,
like,
but leave it.
You have to wait for a year or 2 for the next set of episodes. Wait a year or 2.
Yeah.
If you look it up online, it's like, no, there is no continuation. It's just a dead show. And then read the manga.
I'm curious. You guys keep talking real fast. I'm gonna go to my anime list and see what's like what it's out.
So,
of.
Reddit, how do you like the concept of doing a manga month?
I would love
where we
it.
just do mangas.
I would love, dude. You don't even know. There's so many that'd be off the wall. I think you'd love a couple of them. But yeah, no, I'd have a shit ton, dude. I'd have so much content.
It's ranked 32 on my anime list. So it's pretty high. So it's definitely gonna get a second season.
It appeals.
That's not guaranteed. Those ratings don't affect it. All that matters for a second season is the money. My anime rating, that could be all European, and they don't buy a lot of.
Well, I feel like it's gonna get a lot of money because there's a lot. It could sell a lot of merchandise.
The thing is, like, is it gonna sell a lot of merchandise? Are the DVDs gonna sell well? That's what matters.
I feel like they are.
I have no idea.
Because it's cute little anime girls. I feel like they're gonna sell.
I don't know, but the desire for cute little anime girls kind of falls off in the later half because it gets more serious.
Well, it still has those cute little anime girl moments.
I don't know. It's up in the air for me. I think it's a.
I wonder
right now.
like what the rating is.
I don't know. Probably decent.
Probably pretty good.
It's decently read. Has a lot of people planning to read it.
Ugh.
About equal to reading it, and only about 100 people have completed it. But I don't know what that means because it's still airing.
That means they're up to date. That means they're up to date on the time.
Oh, I know that, but
chapter.
Like,
it's currently completed because there's no more content.
Yeah, I just don't like that terminology. Like completed that.
No, that's a horrible terminology. Yeah. You think completed, you think of like the Kenshi. You know, Kenshi is history's strongest disciple. You know that is 100% done.
Is it?
Manga. Oh yeah, that's been done, dude. It's
also, by the way, I like the 120 flip on Best Girl. Like, oh yeah, no, I didn't marry the blonde-haired chick. I married the Chinese chick. Ha.
Yeah, it was really cool in the last episode. He ended up becoming one of the masters that Ryu Zenpaku. It was really cool. They even did like a little like after the.
Hey, spoilers! I actually plan to read that.
No! Don't worry. It's like as I said, just afterwards they do a time jump. I ain't saying nothing about the ending. That's completely separate than the ending. Okay. That's like 10 years after the end of the manga. They do that.
And I saw that one panel where it just like goes over like his family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a really cool little episode they did. I really liked it.
And he's like super beef man now.
Well, yeah, he's like 28, dude. Like,
yeah,
he's a grown ass motherfucker.
But his muscles could power a nuclear submarine.
You act like during the anime he didn't have the power to power a nuclear submarine.
No, he punched a gate open when he was like strong.
Oh, do I own this whole series of He also the Twilight? Jesus.
He also, when he was at when they took him to a tournament to make some money. Okay, we'll talk about it. Okay, Reddit.
But that was a good read.
I passed the show list stick to you.
Well, just so you know, I'm going in a different direction. You're recommending one you've never seen before. I'm recommending one I fucking hate because I want you guys to suffer.
Okay.
So me find it.
I recommend one that none of us knew.
Really, really old. I never actually finished this. I stopped at a certain.
I'm just going to do one question. How many episodes? I kind of want to get back to Thursday.
Oh, it is short. It is only like 13.
You know, the show was intentionally intended to air on Saturday, right?
Yeah.
Then, like, I'll look at the picture. Now, then, here, there.
Yeah, now and then, here and there. That's the name of it.
I was expecting more of like the world only God knows.
No.
Or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Okay, here's the picture. It's animation style.
Oh, it's old school.
It was made in 2016.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
This? No, now and then here and there was started October 99.
Then why does this say 2016? Oh, the DVD.
That's different. Okay, this is the one I came up with when I looked it up.
No.
Is it this one?
One sec.
This is why Kiss Anime is convenient for this purpose.
Yeah, no, that's where I.
This is the one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, one point I looking up was a movie. It's a different movie.
Okay, let me try to see something else. Images. Let's take dub out. Oh, here it is. Here it is. On the image. Oh. That better at it?
Sure. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I don't mind. I'm just
No.
Oh no, is that it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
the one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Doesn't open. No. Open it at all.
So, I have a question. If we were so run it. If we were going to consider doing a manga version of this, so the thing that I would be interested in doing is 3 volumes, and the volumes are let's say.
Yeah, you'd have to splice that to chapters.
No, because they tell you it.
The volumes are 170. This one is actually one of the bigger ones. It's 175.
You can figure out how much chapters are in the volume. Usually,
because I can burn through this in like I could burn through 3 volumes of this in like I don't know, like less than
usually
a day.
Usually a volume's like 5 chapters, which is like an hour.
Yeah, that's like not even a lot. Yeah. Well, this is 1, 2,
You know what
3,
I mean? Like that's
4,
the
5,
thing.
6.
We could do like we're doing a
6.
manga. We could do like 10 volumes.
Okay.
That's not hard. At least I don't think it is. But if it is hard, we can do like.
Common. Okay,
but regardless, like we could try 6 at first, and if that's too short, we jump it up to like 10.
Then I think it would be fine to start with me because mine's only 3, so that would be like a good place to.
What would you start with?
Your manga?
Legend of the Twilight, which is fucking better than
Oh
the
yeah,
show.
Dot Hack.
The show's 12 episodes, so you kind of assume how short it is.
Yeah.
It's a really short series, and that's why it's like.
Hey, if we do this, we can finally stop saying, "Hey, maybe it's better than the manga."
Well, then you would have to bring up like, oh, well, we're reading the manga afterwards on this month, and then you could do the comparisons.
Yeah.
But until then, I don't.
Or we spread this out to 2 weeks at a time and read both of them.
No. Reading the story and then watching the story back to back would suck.
That would
Especially
be
if you didn't like it, that would be fucking terrible.
Okay, so we finished watching Bandit King Jin. Now we're gonna start reading Bandit King Jin.
The issue is we're reading.
Bandit King Jin goes on for like 36 chapters though.
Does it?
Yeah. There's like a ton of Bandit King Jin. None of it has an end. None of it. Not even close.
No, the show's not supposed to end. There's no purpose to an end.
Yeah, it's one of those early shows that's never supposed to end.
Yeah, it's not supposed to end. So it's like it didn't have an end. Like I'd be shocked if it did.
Snaps.
Oh. All right.
Okay, so good work this week, guys.
Yep. I will see you back in this room on Thursday.
To the those will be added. To those we will see outside. We don't talk to each other after this. We actually just met on Reddit, and actually no, like shit, that gets blown out with the story today. Shit, how about you guys not sending me letters? Yeah, no.
Yeah. Well, no. We met on Reddit when you went in there, and you asked me this. We were letter buddies. I was just a lazy asshole and never responded to your letter because I'm a troll.
Okay, so I need to go to.
And you're just very dependent on people. So you came back. You even know you like shit. Like I'm like a beaten woman to her ex.
So Steam.
Damn it! I want to read this for one character. It sucks. Anyways. It's like the worst scenario. There's only one thing that I really want to read it because the character gets butchered in the show. So it's like,